And we are live. And my camera's off.
Yep.
There we go.
Dilly ding did it now.
Ding
You're
dong.
done
Hello.
fucked up now, Ron.
Bing bong.
Your name is Corey.
God, dox me, why don't you?
Okay.
The amount of times I accidentally say your government name.
Yes, accidentally.
No, it is accidental.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good.
You missed us making a song, Rojan.
That's okay.
That's okay. I hate music anyway. Okay, man.
Yeah, he hates live music. Considers it's cringe.
I don't. Wow. No. It's not that I don't like live music. People singing make me uncomfortable. I get embarrassed.
Oh.
I get embarrassed being around people who are singing. I don't know why.
I've got a friend who can't watch musicals for the same thing. They get secondhand embarrassment from watching musicals.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
They just because it's like they just like, you know, people don't do that. People don't just randomly break out in the song and it gives them secondhand embarrassment.
Corey's kind of in the same way, but there are some musicals that I got him to watch, and he enjoys.
What I don't like is when the people are like singing covers of stuff and they're just making intense eye contact at the camera. And I'm like, look away. Like, it's just like, what are you looking at? Stop trying to look at me. But anyway, yeah,
I
go
need
ahead.
to
Go ahead.
ask, just to cast real quickly, was one of the ones that you got him to watch Book of Mormon?
Corey, I didn't show him that one. I showed him Star Kid musicals. So like the guy who does like musicals, things like that, and
Yeah.
and some of them like that. Corey, have you seen Book of Mormon?
Nope.
Huh.
Hmm.
My
tends to be-
sister and her husband really love Book of Mormon, and I like it.
It tends to be the exception to the rule for most people I know who don't like musicals. They will usually like, you know, forgive it for Book of Mormon.
I can't watch Book of Mormon because Mormons make me uncomfortable.
Fair. Book of Mormon was written by 2 ex-Mormons, I believe. And
Written by the guys who made
it's
South
like
Park.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a like a parody type of thing, or just essentially making fun of Mormonism and all that.
I tried to fix my microphone and I just ended up screwing it up more.
Just the knowledge that they kind of exist, I feel like I'm being watched.
We had and I don't think it was a Mormon that came to our house earlier today, but we did have someone inviting us to a party that was at a church and all that. And they're like, it's a free function. It's a, you know, and I'm like, thanks. We'll take the invite, but we won't go.
When Dan first moved
Which
into
party?
his house,
Yeah.
there was an old lady who like came to his door, and she was like our next door neighbor. She's not there anymore, but she was like talking with him, and he's not really someone who can be like, okay, I have to go now. So I heard him talking at the door for a long time, and I went out to see if I had to rescue him, and she was going like, oh, I hope you'll join me for church. It's a great way to meet the community. And he was like, oh, yeah, sure, I could do that. And she gives him like a card, and then she leaves. And turns out this church isn't like down the street or anything, like in the community. It's like a 30-minute drive away. He's like, I'm not going to that. That's insane that you're inviting me to a church like 30 minutes away. I'm like, I should have arrived here sooner. I really let you down. Okay, speaking of letting you down, we're on episode 9 of the downfall of propriety.
What's that supposed to mean?
Nothing at all. Last time, so much happened. Good Lord. Okay, last time you guys went to the Partington estate and stayed the night after Denari and Madeline went to the Eye's headquarters and they shared what had happened there. And then geez. You guys were kind of going over evidence at the breakfast table. You decided to not share the name of the assassin with the Partington siblings. And then you guys went into town to see Gaius's brother at the quarantine zone because he is helping to try to fight the plague. And turns out that there had been a mysterious person who had approached Gabriel the assassin and had said like either kill Lord Partington or your brother who's sick with this plague is not going to get a cure. We have one but won't get it. And turned out to be a lie. Oh yeah, and Reggie and Marina went to the prison to see Obadiah. Turns out he's been like an undercover agent this whole time. So he was sharing a bit about what happened that night. And then after visiting Gaius's brother Lionel at the quarantine zone, you guys kind of split up a bit, I guess. Gaius went home and Arbeliel, Reggie, and Madeline went to the academy. Arbeliel is looking for a way to kind of lighten his patron's gaze always on the back of his neck. And then Sonari was going to go to the ICE headquarters, and we left off with Gaius saying goodbye to his parents. And there we go. Man, that was a lot. Wait a second. I know why it's weird, why I feel weird. I don't have music playing. Okay.
Ah.
Oh, so...
Nor do we.
Ooh, that's awkward. Okay. So... I guess after we left Gaius, you're in your family's sitting room, and you just said goodbye to your mother. What are you going to do?
I think after he says goodbye to his mother, he just leaves.
Okay. As you are heading towards the front door, you're actually stopped by a doorman, and he goes, "Excuse me, Mr. Tybalt, your father had requested that if you are going to be living in your other abode, to please get your mail forwarded there," and he hands over like a huge stack of your mail, kind of like how people who move out of their parents' house, they go back and they have like a big stack. He's like, "But just get your father requested you get your mail forwarded over to your new address."
I thought the fan mail was a bit light.
Very good, sir. Yes, very good, sir. And then there you go. So you're heading out. Where are you going?
I think he was gonna meet everybody at the college after talking to his family.
Okay. You weren't wanting to go talk with the doctor?
Right. I forgot about that. Yeah. I'm gonna go talk to her.
All right. And then everybody at the academy, where are you all heading?
I think I'd still be out in the courtyard area outside, like near the water fountain. Just kind of looking around. And looking about.
As you're out there, you see students milling around in their uniforms. This is kind of like the main place for people to be kind of sitting in between classes and maybe studying or catching up with friends.
Ooh, I just realized I'm in my military uniform.
That's okay.
Okay.
It's fine.
Alright.
Yeah, that's not a big deal. As you're kind of milling around, I guess. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna do something. Stop it. Can you roll like a history check for me real quick?
Sure.
And Madeline, what are you doing while Reggie's doing this? Because you're there too.
Yeah.
And I should say it's about like 3 in the afternoon right now.
Okay. Are non-students allowed to in the library?
Absolutely, yeah. Library's wide open. Want to
She'll
head there?
probably, yeah, she'll probably head over there and, you know,
Damn it. Us today.
spend some time reading and
Anything in particular you're reading or looking for?
I feel like she would be checking out some, like looking at, not checking out like checking out a book, but she would be checking out some fiction novels to see what they have, and then see if they have any like essentially like beginner to intermediate magic spell, like spell books kind of, for like tips and tricks.
Yeah, as you're there, there is like a section for sort of beginners guide to magic. There's like 7-year-olds in there, kind of looking around, anywhere from 7 to 10-year-olds. Cause
Oh god, this is just like my first ballet class.
Anywhere from like 7 to 10-year-olds who are just reading, maybe doing some homework. And as you walk over, one of them goes like, "Oh, hi, do you go here too?"
Maybe next year.
Oh, cool. I bet you already know how to do all these spells. And he turns the book over to you, and you see like an incantation with sort of like hand gestures and verbal components that look alien to you.
Yes. Oh god, I'm actually getting nervous about what to say to a 7-year-old.
I would say this one is a little
Yeah.
older. He's probably about
Yeah.
9 or 10.
Okay, but still doesn't help much. She's like 20. She's gonna look at it and think like, I know someone who can do that one. Do you want to read it for me? Do you want to try it out?
He goes, "I can do that." And it's, as he reads it to you, you guys can kind of sit next to each other. It's very sweet. You can do an insight check for me if you want to.
I mean, I might as well. I mean, I don't think that there's any ill will or anything, but I'll check it out. That would be a total of 19.
Yeah, you can tell that these kids don't at all judge you for the fact that you're older than them. It's, even though tuition kind of starts at anywhere from 7 to 10 years, people from all ages go to this school and from all over the city. So, as he's reading to you, it's actually, I wonder what kind of spell you would learn.
Baby's first firebolt.
Hey, maybe we don't. Oh no, I closed out of my thing. I hate Mozilla Firefox.
Uh-oh.
Is there anything in particular you were wanting to read about, or just whatever that kid wanted to show you?
Yeah, but I was just interested in whatever the kid wanted to show me, like, because I do have, you know, some nice spells that I know, but just in general, she's more like, it's not really, it turned from looking at stuff for herself to more interested in encouraging the kids around her.
I would say that you can sit down, and if you wanted to stay for about like an hour or so, you could learn like, well, I don't know how that would really work, but if you wanted to, you could learn like an extra spell of your choice that's a level 1.
Oh. Cool. I have no idea what spell that would be. I don't have the book.
That's okay. Sorcerer level 1 spells, because you're a sorcerer, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep, because it's natural. They got like Burning Hands, Charm Person, Chromatic Orb, Color Spray, Comprehend Languages, Detect Magic, Disguise Self, Expeditious Retreat, lots of stuff. Like, I'm not going to read them all, but yeah. You already have Comprehend Languages, Disguise Self, Featherfall, Thunderwave.
Mhm. Yeah. So, let's see here.
Why don't you think about what spell you want to learn with this young boy?
I'll send you a message of which one I chose.
Whose name you find out is Austin, and he really likes cows. And then what did you get on your history check, Weirds?
I got a 21.
Wow.
Because I rolled a natural 20.
Nice. Okay. You know from just your knowledge of the school in general that it houses not just schooling for the kids, but also like where Madeline is, a library, a treasury. There's obviously battlegrounds, not battlegrounds, but like training grounds for some kids who are going into a more martial aspect of magic.
Okay.
Kind of like what you were kind of considering doing with, what is it, like your
it's like the Eldritch Knight / Arcane Knight. So
that's right. Yeah.
Somebody needs to be a little flashy.
And you know that there is a registration office down on the first floor. If you wanted to get more information about signing up for classes before talking to Marina, you definitely could. Marina and or Avros, you definitely could go do that. Otherwise, you're you know that guests are welcome to walk wherever, and just kind of visit.
He's gonna flip a silver into the fountain and make his way to the administrative office. See if he can learn some more.
As you get there, it's quite a big office, and it's kind of dead right now just because people are out in between classes. But there is an older woman at the registration, and she looks up and she goes, "Oh, hello. Are you signing up for classes?"
Yes, actually, or rather, I'm learning how to sign up for classes.
Okay. The new school year starts in about 4 months.
4 months? Okay, that's good to know. I was going to be one of the new arcane martial types.
Okay. She goes, that classroom is not quite open yet, but they are accepting early registration while they just get their syllabus and everything down. You can definitely put your name in, and obviously the people to speak to about curriculum, they will be reaching out to you once they get everything set up. I would recommend adding on a couple of additional classes to aid with that. Probably like intro classes to maybe magic. I'm guessing she takes in your uniform. She goes, I'm guessing you don't really need an intro to martial anything. So you could probably skip that unless you're just wearing that for show.
No, this is actually the Wings uniform.
I thought so.
The intro to evocation and abjuration classes, are they available?
Like I said, new classes start in 4 months, but we can definitely put you on the list. Is getting a bit full. But the school requires at least 2 to 3 classes each year, just because it is a lot of coursework.
Of course. And he'll start. Do you have a list of like intro classes that I could actually look at?
I can get that sent to you. Our copies are currently low, so we need to handwrite them out because this is the age where they don't have printers.
Right. By all means, send it to Reginald Thornpoint at the barracks.
Okay. That's great. This is not me judging you or anything. This is actually totally normal that people join classes of all ages, but what made you want to start doing that?
Well, I saw talents from both Lord Avros and Lord Marina and thought, maybe combine them.
That's exactly what they thought. So, you know them personally?
I have spoken with them on a few occasions, and while I don't know them personally, like that, I would consider myself a good acquaintance.
Well, I believe they're actually making it so that the arcane night class is actually for older students, so it'll probably be people closer in age with you rather than youngsters, because that's, brain development. They can't be taking hits like that young, otherwise stunts their growth.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Good.
Meanwhile, your brain is fully developed.
Meanwhile, my brain cell will not grow.
She says pityingly.
Well, at least I've got my good looks.
She's no comment.
And
okay.
He will bow and head on out.
Sounds good. So you can probably expect to get some mail soon about that. I just need to put it all together.
Right. Yeah.
Arbelriel, what are you doing?
I think Arbelriel's just kind of wandering the grounds, observing the place and the students. He knows that Gaius is going to make his way here eventually, so he wants to still be around when Gaius does show up, so we can all gather together. So yeah, he's just passing the time, wandering around.
1 second. Oh, my notes. Cool. That's fine. We can hop over to Gaius then if you're just not wanting to look at anything in particular. Gaius, you're going to... you're going to the doctor's?
Yeah, I'm going to Dr. Gustaford's clinic.
Okay. It's actually not too far from the quarantine zone, so you could head back down there. It's just maybe a couple blocks north of that, because she has to help both the lower edge and the upper crust. And as you approach, you see that it seems to be kind of a lull in business hours, because we are a little past lunch, so people are probably off doing errands, going to work and whatnot. And she, as you open the door, there's like a little bell above it that rings. And as the bell rings, you hear a voice go, "Welcome, what seems to be ailing you today?" But you don't see where the voice is coming from.
Hey, Doc, it's just me. I needed to talk to you about something.
Doctor is currently with a patient. Can I take down your name? And what is ailing you today? Give me a perception.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's gonna look around for this voice. Oh, wow, we're starting off strong today. Number one, I don't have my character sheet open. Number two, I rolled a 5 on the die. Things can just only go up from here, right? That is going to be a perception of 8.
8. Wow. You have no idea where this voice is coming from. In fact, it seems like witchcraft to you, like the cursed kind. But they go, you can just sign in here, and there's a little hand from behind the desk that pushes a clipboard forward towards you.
He's gonna take a moment. He's gonna like lean over like the counter to see like who's giving him the paper.
And you see a little girl, a little dwarven girl who looks just like the doctor, very messy brown curls, big green eyes, and kind of a suspicious look on her face, like, why isn't this guy signing in? And she goes, "There's pens on the counter."
Oh, thank you. I was just trying to see who was instructing me to sign in. I didn't know if the doctor had gotten the place enchanted.
No, my mom's just with a patient, so I have to watch the front.
Did I know that Dr. Gusford had a kid?
I don't know. Give me a history check. Who's messaging me in Mandarin?
Well, I'm just going to tell you right now, he had no clue, because that's a history roll of a grand total of 6.
I would say that it was actually going to be a very difficult history roll because she does not share this information with everybody. So it's not actually very well known that she has a daughter. But the daughter then kind of scrambles onto one of those high stools. And you see in the corner of the counter, there's a coloring that she's working on. And it looks like someone on a surgery table getting surgery.
Yeah, that checks. He's just going to write down, he's going to, just follow her instructions as not to annoy the little girl. And he's just going to sign his name and says, consultation, as the reason why he's here.
She peeks at it and she goes, "I don't know what that illness is, but it sounds bad."
It's not an illness. I just need to talk to the doctor. Get her
Okay.
expertise on something.
She looks at you, she goes, "Are you a real person?"
Last time I checked.
"Oh, because you look like a cat." And she goes back to coloring. And cats are cats and not people.
True, but there are cat-like people.
Oh, is that what you are?
In a way, yes. I'm technically a tiefling, just of a different variety.
What's a tiefling?
You've never seen the people walking around with like the reddish and purplish and bluish skin with like the horns coming out of their head?
I just call them horny people. I didn't know they were called tieflings.
Astute name. No, but I'm one. I'm like one of them, but I'm a different variety.
How do I grow cat ears and a tail?
Well, I don't know if. I mean, I'm not an expert on dwarven physiology, but I would assume that maybe with some magic, you could, or maybe your mom would know.
Mom would get mad at me if I had cat ears.
Give me a second. He's gonna smile and he's gonna cast minor illusion on her to give her cat ears.
Does she feel it, or
It just looks like she just has a pair of cat ears like sticking out of her head.
okay?
Like there's no feeling to it. There's no anything. It's just an illusion.
So she doesn't know it's on the top of her head. She's just looking
And like
at you.
he's just gonna like point over to a mirror.
Them. Thank you. She goes, "What is your name?"
I'm Gaius.
Okay. And she goes back to coloring. She goes, "I want to draw you next."
Draw me having surgery.
Yeah, actually.
It's like all of her drawings are
Oh.
like of mythical beasts and everything, but they're just having surgery.
I mean, it's
Is
how they
this
get.
one
It's
is-
how you got the cat ears.
I was gonna.
Disturbingly accurate too.
All of them just have stitch marks in random places.
I was gonna say the surgery is getting her taking off the cat ears to put them on herself.
Because we can have surgery together, and we're both getting our cat ears.
And what is your
She
name?
goes, "My name is Virtue." She goes, "Do you have a girlfriend?"
I do not.
Oh. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh, that's really old.
Yeah, I'm getting to be a bit ancient in my years.
Yeah, if you don't hurry up and get a girlfriend, you're gonna get old and alone.
You know, my mom says the same thing.
My grandma says that about my mom. If she doesn't get a boyfriend soon, she's gonna wither up and be all alone. But I kind of like it just being us.
She a good mom?
Yeah, she's the best doctor.
That I can surely say is an astute observation. She is the best doctor.
My mom could fix you.
Fix me?
Yeah, if you were broken and she needed it, she could fix you.
Yeah, your mom has fixed me a couple times.
What did you do?
Last time, I was cut
Wait.
up.
My mom says I'm not allowed to ask people what's wrong with them anymore, so I don't want to get in trouble.
There's nothing wrong with me right now. But the last time your mom fixed me up.
No, she says it's rude to ask people their medical history.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
I'm gonna get in trouble.
Okay.
She tries to cover both of her ears.
He just like holds up his hands like, okay, I won't say. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Don't tell her I asked. And at that moment, you hear footsteps and familiar figure, Homily Gusford, walks out. She's escorting a little old lady. She goes, "It's perfectly normal for that sort of thing to pop up. So if it doesn't fix itself within maybe about a week or so, you have to come back and see me, all right? And if it gets worse, come sooner." And this old lady says thank you and exits, and you hear the little bell above the door, and she goes, "What have you done this time, Gaius?"
I need to pick your brain about something, Doc.
All right. I see you've met my daughter. This is Virtue, and this is Gaius. Did you say hello? She goes, "Yeah, I said hello. He gave me cat ears." She goes, "Yes." She kind of passes her hand through. She goes, "Those are very nice. I like them a lot." She goes, "Don't put any ideas in her head. That's the last thing we need."
She thought I was a talking cat.
I mean,
Does he follow?
she's a kid.
He follows follows her in.
She escorts you down the hall to her office. She goes, "Well, she's a kid. She's never seen anyone like you. I mean, not the farthest jump of logic ever. I hope she wasn't bothering you at all. I keep telling her not to ask people about their medical history."
No, she made me sign the sheet and everything, and we were just having a conversation, and then she saw the ears and was wondering if I was a cat. And then she said she wanted ears, so I did a little Gaius magic and gave her a little pair of illusionary ears for a while.
That's surprisingly cute of you. And then she gestures for you to sit down in the chair across from her at her desk. She goes, "What can I do for you? Is this another injury?"
No injuries. This is about the plague. I've heard that you've been working with the people on the other side of the fence, trying to look into the cause and the like. I needed to know, have you heard anything about somebody, like any patients coming through, talking about a miracle cure?
Give me an insight check really quick.
Hey, that's better.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be a dirty 20.
Very good. You see, as you mentioned, as she goes like, "What is this about?" She looks very tense, but the second you say that it's about the plague, she visibly relaxes. She goes, sorry, a mystery cure?
A miracle cure.
Or sorry, a miracle cure?
Somebody is... I have it under authority that somebody is offering people or passing rumors that they or somebody else has a miracle cure to the plague. I didn't know if anybody came across you and was trying to get your expert opinion on it.
Well, let me tell you something, Sonny. If there is a miracle cure, it's coming straight from me, and I do not have any sort of miracle cure going on right now. It's mainly me and Headmistress Holt who's sort of spearheading the research on this, while I'm also at the same time helping to treat people. I'm the only one, aside from Headmistress Holt, who's allowed to cross the quarantine. So.
And that's why I expected to hear, but shot in the dark.
Who's offering that?
I don't know. I'm trying to find this individual.
Oh, do you know why they're offering that?
No, but seeing as how no miracle cure has happened, I could only assume that it's for nefarious purposes.
Well, as someone who frequents the Lower Edge a lot, there is a lot of desperate people who would do almost anything for certain things. It's very possible that this person's just taking advantage of it to get whatever they want. So that's a horrible thing to do, though. Like, just dangle that in front of someone and yank it away. Unfortunately, I'm nowhere near a cure on that. It's not really like anything I've ever seen, unfortunately. It's not fun either.
Yeah. I visited the border today to talk to my brother.
Lionel, is he doing all right?
He looks like death run over. I don't think he's sleeping or eating.
Is he sick?
He's not sick. He just, from what I gathered from him, he has been pulling all-nighters again.
I mean, it's pretty dismal down there.
And more than likely probably eating every other day. I told him to get some rest, but, he's not going to listen to me.
And every other day when he's got supplies coming in, at least once a week, is odd. You should not do that.
He's always been a workaholic. When we were younger, he would go days without eating and would lock himself in religious study until he'd pass out. This is nothing new for him.
Workaholics with a religious zeal are some of the most insufferable people. No offense to your brother.
Oh no, he's quite insufferable.
I know, I'm just joking. I actually quite like him. He's very nice.
He's a good soul. He's just a pain in my ass because of my lifestyle.
No comment. I'm not going to get in the middle of family things, but I will say I know he's doing everything he can. He's probably one of the most hard-working people in the church right now, aside from Father Valentine, but it's hard to beat.
That's what again, like I said, shot in the dark. I was wondering if any of your patients had mentioned anything in passing, that they heard somebody being offered a cure, or somebody came to them offering them a miracle cure for them or their family members.
Once I want to think about this logically for a second, because the first stage of this disease is mainly just fatigue, slight cough, sweating, unhealthy pallor. Second half is when it starts getting quite gnarly, and by that point people's minds are really suffering, so they wouldn't have said anything to me because they really can't. But I don't think someone would approach someone in the first stage unless they were truly desperate and knew actually what they had contracted.
My concern is they're going for the family members. Maybe trying to extort something from them.
Haven't heard anything from family members. It's possible. Who was offered this?
Again, it's just rumor that I heard.
Who'd you hear it from?
He kind of looks at her and gives her a warning look, like he can't say.
She gives you a warning look as well. You know, they say that the two people you should never lie to are your confessor and your doctor.
Okay. I can't say who it is, but I can say that it's involved. It has to do with Lord Partington's murder.
Give me an insight check.
That is going to be a 14.
You see, as you say Lord Partington's death, that she tenses up immediately again. And she goes, alright, what about that?
We're looking into it.
Hmm.
But
The body was released to the family the other day. They're prepping it for funeral.
they're prepping for the funeral, yes. The murderer. Apparently they have somebody on the other side. Somebody sick. The person offering this miracle cure offered it to them in exchange for Lord Partington's death. And if they can do this to get into the Partington estate and assassinate somebody of such high stature, who else are they planning evil means for? Who else are they controlling?
I think I might know who you're talking about, but that's fine. Doctor-patient confidentiality. She goes, I think it's possible that the person offering this miracle cure was only doing that because that's what that person truly wanted. But not everyone wants a miracle cure. Some people want wealth, some people want money, some people want power, some people want love, some people want death. So I think it's less about maybe finding someone who's offering that specific thing, who would have the means to, and looking at someone who would have the power and the breadth to be able to offer whatever anyone wants. As someone who works with a lot of very powerful people, they think they can just offer whatever you want and they'll say yes to them. It's not always the case, but sometimes it works on people who are truly desperate. So maybe find the most desperate people.
And it's no secret that Lord Partington had a lot of powerful enemies, people who disliked him for his way of thinking.
That is accurate. Come out and ask, just because I'm starting to feel a bit anxious here, but you're quite close with the Partington family, or at least semi?
On a friendly, I think I'm on at least friendly repertoire with them.
They're not asking me to come back, are they?
I haven't heard anything. Why?
No, that's okay. That's good. I'm very busy. And I don't have time.
Can I insight check that?
Absolutely, you can. Wait. There we go.
That's gonna be
dog. What's your insight?
That's gonna be a 22.
What are you looking for?
When she said that they're not asking me to come back, he's trying to see if there's any sort of like fear or desperation in that question.
There is fear, absolutely.
See,
really dread. She tries to cover it up with a bit of bravado, like I'm very busy, but she's
his ears twitch a little bit. He's like,
"Do you want me to get that twitch checked out?" Could be a nervous disorder.
In a way, it is. It's happens when I can see through people. What's wrong? when I mentioned when I first came in here, you were tense and it looked like you thought I was talking about something else. And now when I talk about the Partingtons, it almost sounded like you were fearful that they were asking you back.
It's not for me to speak of other patients or other patients' families. I'm
But
a doctor.
He's no longer a patient, he's dead.
I know. I have to protect his privacy.
Is anybody threatening you?
Give me a persuasion check.
That is going to be a natural 20 for 29.
She goes, listen, this stays between us.
Of course.
Only because I've known you for so long. All patients deserve equal care. And I've helped a lot of families. Some of them I don't like. Some of them really entitled people. And it's not the family per se, because Lady knows I love Avarice. I love Marina very much. I love Lady Adira, and I cared very much for Lord Rasmus, but there was something about that house, and I had to leave it, but it was made very hard for me to leave from that house. I don't know. It's hard for me to put into words. I wish I could explain more, but I just feel dreadful.
It's almost as if you wanted to leave, but something was stopping you from physically.
Not really like physically. I mean, I could definitely walk out. It's just mentally it felt like I was being kept there. Granted, my main interactions were with Lord Solantis and Lady Adira, and they're very imposing people. I know that Rasmus's children aren't really intense like that. I know they're good kids. More so on the kid side. They're young. But it's something about this case and something about this body and this murder and this house. I don't know. It's just put me on edge. That's why I was I was desperate to get home to my daughter and my mother-in-law. And yeah.
I haven't told
not so
anybody.
much my mother-in-law, but
I haven't told anybody this.
Okay.
I had a run-in with Lord Solantis the night of the murder.
Interesting fella.
Interesting is a understatement. When I first ran into him, he was shuffling and walking like, you would assume an elderly gentleman would to, beyond his years, a little hunched back, just making his way down the hallway, just for a nightly stroll, as he called it. But he got outside of, Lady Yadira's room. Then he straightened up and walked normally back to where he came.
Could have been night terrors or sleepwalking.
We held a full-on conversation when I first encountered him. And he
People
told me
hold
to go,
conversations.
and he said it was best that I get back to bed.
People hold conversations when they're sleepwalking. Sometimes they don't always make sense, but some people are maybe a bit more lucid than others.
But the change in movements
Could
and
have been
everything.
he woke up right outside her room and then went back to his normal self. A lot of possibilities there.
He seemed a bit jovial.
Mm-hmm. I would say that my only issue is what they were very intense about me staying there until I had exhausted all options, including like I was exhausted by the end of it. There's only so much I can do. This is a poison I don't have a lot of experience with, but I did learn a lot. But I mean, at some point you have to let me go home to my child. I guess I'm just bitter. I felt like I wasn't treated very well, but
It doesn't sound like you were.
I know they're going through a hard time with the loss of their son and their husband, but I don't know. Just felt very out of character for the Partingtons. But maybe it was Lord Rasmus that was holding everybody together. What do I know?
Look, if you need anything, feel free to call on me. You've been good.
Babysitter?
I can babysit.
I might take you up on that.
Good kid.
She's smart as a whip. She's gonna be smarter than me.
Very inquisitive.
But yes. I don't mean to talk badly. I know that you might be friends with the Partington children, but that's just... It was a tough week that I was there.
I
couple days, I guess.
wish I could say I fully understand, but I haven't been put in that stressful situation. But we are still looking into it, and we are damned if whatever happens to us, but we will get to the bottom of this.
That's intense.
I've held Lord Partington in high regard. I share a lot of his same views. And to have somebody that was a pillar of this community taken down in such a horrible manner, those involved need to face justice.
Understood. Well, if you want to, I mean, like I said, Esperanza and I have been working on this nonstop. She actually has made a couple of visits into the forest, see if she could find out the origin of that plant that was used on him, but I don't know if she's had any luck. But she studied it based on what was found at the crime scene, and then I just had my hands full with the plague. I wish I could be more help.
If I hear anything, I will let you know.
I'm okay. Just trying to keep my head above water here. And at that moment, you hear a knock at the door, and she goes, you see a little head pop out, and it's Virtue. And she goes, Mommy, Grandma's here. She says that it's time for me to go home. And she goes like, oh yes, go with your grandmother. That's fine. Sorry, I didn't realize how late it had gotten. She goes up, she goes, was there anything else, Gaius?
No, that's it for me, but again, you need anything, don't be afraid to ask. It's yours.
She just nods, and then Virtue goes, do you need help finding the lobby again?
You know, it would be wonderful if you were to assist me in that. It tends to be a maze back here sometimes.
She slips her hand into yours and she leads you to the lobby. She goes, I like my cat ears, but I think I'm not allowed to wear them. My grandma said that they make my head look big.
He's like, don't listen to your grandma on that. You look amazing.
Well, thank you. And as you guys pull out into the lobby, you see an older, severe-looking woman sitting in one of the chairs, looking a little impatient. And she looks up and she goes, ah! She goes, I guess I see where you got the idea for ears from. She goes, well, he said that I look nice, Grandma, so...
This guy is just standing there smiling.
She goes, I don't think I've had the pleasure. What's your name?
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Gaius Tybalt.
I'm Viola. I am the doctor's mother-in-law. She goes, and I have to get this little one home. So, She kind of cocks her head and she goes, "Let's go." And Virtue lets go of your hand, and they both walk out. And the little bell rings. And then you're free to do whatever you want.
Okay. I think he's going to stand there for a moment. And he's just going to process everything. And then he's going to make his way out.
Okay. Where are you heading?
He's heading to the dock.
We're just at the doctor's.
No, the docks.
Oh, the docks?
He's gonna go bug his brother since he knows he's there.
Okay. Before we do that, we're gonna hop over to Sanari, who's heading to the Eyes headquarters. Hey.
Yep. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yep, so I head over to the Eyes, and I'm gonna go head straight to the council people, so Sparrow and all that, so I can pass on the message.
Sure. Give me 1 second here. Alrighty. As you head to where you had seen the council previously, you can knock on the door, and you hear a familiar voice say, like, "Who's there?"
And when I knock on the door, I knock into at a little rhythm, go.
Yep.
And they just and basically I shouldn't really announce it. It'd be more of they've announced it, come in, Sanari.
Oh yeah, come on in, Sanari.
Hello.
Okay.
So yep. And I walk in, I'm just like, hello.
You see that it is just 2 people in there. It is Gabriel, and also the older gentleman. He's about older than the others. He's not old at all, but he was mid-40s. He went by Nightingale, but you know that his name is Wyatt. And they're talking, and they look over as you enter, and Wyatt goes well, to what do we owe the pleasure?
Hey Wyatt, how you going? So got some news from Obi. He's basically, for some reason I don't quite agree with, but I've been passed on the message that he does not want to be broken out, which kind of goes against what we believe in, but he's told us to not come for him.
Well, he always was a bit of a strange one, but I mean, I guess we will take that into consideration.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how far we will consider it, but his opinion has been filed.
You speak very confidently for someone who's not on the council. I like you.
I do my best.
Mm-hmm. And he goes, where you went and talked with Obadiah, or
message passed on for a third party.
Oh, interesting. All right. He goes, well, anything else bring you here today? Otherwise, I do have a report I have to fill in Harmonia about.
Just making time to see your lovely face is enough for me.
He goes, it's weird that you are being flirtatious with me when I am double your age, but thank you. It's very flattering.
Is giving a compliment always flirting?
Well, I guess it's just your tone of voice then.
If you can tell, she's been actively ignoring Gabriel the entire time. So
he can tell.
Yeah. So she said, "Alright, so I am off to go and be a bother to someone else. Have fun and make sure this one doesn't cause any more Sargentian-wide incidents. Okay, bye." And I just like
Do
turn and start walking
go
out.
to leave. I think actually, you feel like a very gentle hand around your elbow. He goes like, "Sonari," and it's Gabriel. And he goes, "Can I talk to you for a minute?"
I like looking away. You could like she decides to recompose her face. Goes, "Sure. What do you want to say?"
He goes, "Can we, like, maybe?" And he kind of gestures into a side room. He goes, and Wyatt is already walked out. He's got somewhere to be. And he goes, "I want to apologize again for coming down on you so hard. I was injured, I was scared, and my cover was blown. And additionally, if you're able to, pass along to your friend that I'm sorry for scaring her and threatening her. It was a bad moment."
Absolutely. I can pass on the message to her. I hope your brother is doing okay.
He's not. But thank you for asking. I know he always liked you.
Yeah, he's one of my favorites too.
I realize this whole
And
thing makes me look really foolish and naive, and however hard you come down on me, trust me, I've already gone that hard down on myself, but I feel the need to apologize.
I am very pissed at you, Gabriel. But you know the situation with my bubba at the moment, and the infuriating thing is I wish I could say that I would not do the same thing that you did, because I know how disappointed Baba would be if he found out I ever did anything like that, but the truth is I can't say that. Truth is that if they approached me and said, "Hey, we can save your father," I can't say that I wouldn't have just taken a knife to Lord Partington in front of everyone. And that's just as infuriating to me as it is like everything that happened. So I just need time to process it, but you know how I am, I can't hold grudges to save my life. So just need maybe a week or so, and then I'll be talking to you like I do everyone else again. And you'll be wanting me out of the eyes even more often than usual.
I don't want you out of the eyes.
Yeah, you say that now, but like wait till the next joke I say, and then you'll be thinking that differently. All right, I need to go see Hai Sung, and chat to you later, Gabe. And I just like have to just walk out of the room before it gets any more emotional. She's not ready for this.
You walk out of the room, leaving Gabriel in there, and you go find Haisung?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know that Hai Sung is probably with my dad.
Yep. He's in there. Your dad's sleeping, which he's been doing a lot of lately, but Haisung's in there and he's reading while you walk in. He looks up, he goes, "Hi!
Hey.
Lot of shit happened since you were last here."
Well, a lot of shit happened when I was last here, so like,
Yeah, it was your fault as usual.
Yeah, what's new? We can just add it to the ledger.
Just before we get started, your dad's doing fine. Sleeping through the night, eating, but he's just quiet and looks confused. But I've just been I've been taking care of him. He's fine.
As long as he's eating, the more that we can get nutrients and shit in him, the longer we have.
Sure.
Anyway, I have some tea for you, and so I need you to get some tea for me. You know, ecto. You know, what's the fucking term? I've forgotten the term.
Primo.
You speak a different language? You can barely speak this one.
Okay, bitch. First of all, I will cuss you out in Infernal, and I know that you understand it. Fucking.
He pours you both a cup of tea, and he pretends to make his hand shakes like he's so scared. What's the tea?
Okay, so you know the story about you found out. What do you know about who killed Lord Partington? I don't know what's been widely talked about here since I've last been in.
Killed Lord Partington. Do you know who killed Lord Partington?
No, absolutely not.
Who was it?
I'm probably talking loudly, but Sanari's whispering. Gabriel.
Okay.
And I'm very pissed at him at the moment, but
Wasn't it a contract?
It was,
I
but
get contracts all the time.
yeah, but firstly, like, it wasn't approved. It wasn't council approved. He took it off his own back. It wasn't an eyes approved thing. He just did it.
Oh, why?
Because, and get this, the person who did it claimed to have a miracle cure for the plague to save his brother. Yeah. Now, everyone else seems to think that, like,
listen. That's quite sad, Sonari.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually really sad.
Yeah.
I know you try to be a tough nut to crack all the time, but, like, come on.
It's really fucked.
You know how bad it's getting down there. Even I know how bad it's getting down there.
Yeah. And
about 20% of the population in the lower edge is just gone.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I thought that it was the plague that hit Dad that hit my papa first. Like, you know.
So you're mad at him?
I'm mad at him for a variety of reasons. It's all complicated and emotional and nuanced, and that's not our thing. So, my thing is, what the important key part about this is, someone approached him claiming to have a miracle cure. Now, a couple of the other people that I've been working with have been thinking, oh, maybe someone's, like, actually got a cure to, like, manipulate things. Now, my whole shtick is, you can threaten someone with whatever they want. Like, you know, so who would be powerful enough to threaten someone like Gabriel with whatever they wanted? Like, you know what I mean?
It could be almost anybody. They all hold their own amount of power.
Well, who benefits the most from Partington being dead?
I hate thinking about these rich people, but okay. Off the top of my head, well, you might not like this answer, but the Weiranaris definitely benefit.
Fuck.
Definitely the Fitzgeralds. I know that he was wanting to put, I'm not good with the political side of things, I feel like there was something where he was wanting to implement laws that focused on fair trading and properly paying workers. So anybody who's affected by trade or has any sort of business in this town, yeah.
So that's pretty much the entire rich population in a nutshell, right?
Some of it's
right.
inherited wealth, so like the Tufts are inherited wealth, so they might not have anything to do with that. The Howards are inherited wealth, but like the Fitzgeralds, the Jacksons, the Tybalts, the Werinaruses, the Sarverases, even my family, the Neverfells, like maybe. So
Well, great. Fantastic. There was also, something else. I've been invited to the Fitzgeralds for dinner. Doing
because
some...
of Madeline?
Yeah,
She's
because of
cute.
good old Maddie. She's a
She
sweetheart.
seems very out of place, though.
Oh, she's trying her best.
can
But
tell,
she's an absolute darling, and we need to make sure that we get all the information that we need so that the eyes leave her alone.
What?
Oh yeah, part of the whole thing is the fact that Maddie was with me when we found Gabriel. So now, like, Maddie has to provide information on the Fitzgeralds, like, you know, movements and stuff. So as a, like, you know,
I
ipso
mean,
facto
you may not
sort of thing.
like to hear this, but that's kind of your fault. Why was she with you? That's so dangerous, dude.
I didn't want to bring her. I didn't know what else to... Oh no, that's right. It was the lantern. I was drunk and I couldn't get that stupid fucking lantern to work, and I needed a magic man. And the magic man, there was no magic man around, so I went for a magic woman.
It speaks a lot to your internalized misogyny that you immediately went to magic man.
Magic man is just fun to say. It's not a misogyny thing. It is alliteration.
Sounds like it. Could be could be a magic person. Could be a magic woman. Anyway,
but we're not here to discuss like why I like saying fun things. So I was drunk and I couldn't get the stupid magic lamp to work. So that's why she was there.
Put her in the path of Ranking Eyes member.
We didn't know it was a Ranking Eyes member at the time. We thought it was just a random assassin who, like, you know, if it had been anyone else, I would have just gone shink shink shink.
What did I say about raising your voice at me? Because I think, considering she got off very easy, so you're going over there tonight to look for some clues.
Yeah, I'm going over tonight to get some clues and hopefully make a wonderful impression on Lord Fitzgerald himself.
Okay, wearing that?
Oh no, absolutely not. That was the other reason why I'm here. The nice stuff's all back at the Partingtons, and this is actually Marina's. I need to give this back to her. So I came here to see if we still had another nice dress. I can't turn up in the same dress that I wore at the party. There were other Fitzgeralds there.
Can I make a suggestion just based on who you are as a person? Women can wear pants now, so you could just wear some really nice quality pants and a jacket, and that might be best for you because you like to move around.
Yeah, that'd actually be really nice. Like, you know, I could wear some nice riding pants.
I'll loan you some. We're about the same size.
Yeah, I mean,
feels good on my back, by the way, guys. That's just why I'm doing this. Ow.
Yeah, we're about the same size. My waist is probably a little bit smaller, but, you know, don't give me that eye roll. You're the one that's been eating all those muffins recently.
I work out. He goes, yeah, sure, you can borrow anything from my closet. I'll make sure you look nice.
Right, sweet.
Just imagine Sung actually making that motion just as they're casually talking. Like, yeah, I'm feeling good. You know, I did my part.
And Sanari just like is not fazed by it because she's probably done weirder in front of him.
So what are they doing about Gabriel?
Gabriel is demoted. He's lower than us.
Actually, he's not lower than you.
He's
I would
not,
say
damn
he's
it.
on par with you guys. And I think they said it was temporary too.
He's temporary. Okay, technically he's temporary demoted to our level, but he's in the shit even more than I am. So, you know what that means. Like, he's just barely below us.
Okay, well.
Yep. So, that's what it is at the moment with him, and he'll probably end up back on the council some way or another.
Okay, well. It's unfortunate what happened, but I get it.
That's what it was. That's what I wanted to speak to you about. Sorry.
Wow.
I had a moment. So, I remember I mentioned to you about the guy who... I mentioned about the fact that this guy manipulated Gabriel using his brother's illness to get what he wanted.
Yeah.
He found out about... I don't know how he found out about it, because like Gabriel and his brother's illness is known for the eyes. I don't know how they found out about it on the grapevine outside the eyes. So, what if we could set up a trap of a similar vein using me? You're the one who's who knows how to spread rumors, plant them with the right people, get it on the grapevine. Let's say that you're able to plant that there is a particular eyes member who is desperate for a cure for her father.
Ooh, that's interesting. I see.
Since I'm already pre-aware of this guy, I'm not going to get bored into whatever the bullshit he is, but if I can plant it and I can get someone to come, and approach me.
Whoever did this, they probably see it as no big deal to implicate eyes members because we're already not super well liked by the upper crust, so that's actually not a bad draw.
Exactly, and this time around, I'm also a particularly controversial eyes member. Whether people like me is a flip of a coin. So if I turn out to be some dastardly rogue, who's gonna blink? Getting Gabriel implicated was a bit of a risky move because Gabriel was a really respected member of the community.
It just depends, he had something that person wanted. So, respectfully, and I don't mean this in, our usual, way, but what do you have to offer?
Well, I get that Gabriel is an assassin, but I'm also fairly well, people are recognizing me as someone who's being involved with investigating Lord Partington's murder. Maybe someone wants me to shut the fuck up.
Ooh, yeah.
That's not an uncommon sentiment.
I will see what I can do. You smarty pants.
I know. Rare. See, there is just moments where the brain cells connect, and then I prove that I am my father's daughter.
I will see what I can do. I'm not really sure where to put this info out, though. But, I mean, I have to assume that if they knew about Gabriel's brother, they probably already know about your dad. So...
And they need to be aware. I know that we've kept it pretty secret on what's wrong with Papa. But if we can make it aware that's it's a desperate enough situation.
Yeah.
Then yeah. So
yeah.
and you're the one to go to for making all the rumors happen. You're one of the youngest spy master in the eyes for a reason.
I will see what I can do.
Yes.
Where are you? Are you just staying somewhere else? Because I haven't seen you the past couple nights. Should I send word to you a certain place?
Probably leave anything at the Partingtons.
But coded, obviously.
Of course, coded. But that seems to be where we end up gravitating to most of the time. I'll probably end up back there within the next couple of days. Yeah. Just also curiosity, this, if you're gonna be planting a rumor, just because I want to see how many people would buy this, could we start a rumor that there is a secret kraken hidden underneath Sargenty?
There's a secret kraken hidden underneath Sargenty.
Yes.
I'm not a god. I can't there's no guarantee, but sure.
But there are
I'll
so many
see
stupid people.
Who's stupid enough? Yeah, sure.
That would be so funny.
Maybe save that for later because I gotta focus on this actually important one. But sure,
Of
later down the
course.
road, when things are back to normal, I'll start a rumor that there's a kraken underneath Sargenty. Even though it's just the earth and the kraken lives in the water, but
Yes.
sure.
You are amazing, High Sung, and I'm so glad that we're friends. And this is
real quick. For no other reason, and don't read into this. Maybe take it easy on Gabriel. That's all I'm saying.
I'll eventually forgive him. I know I will. It's just a lot right now.
He didn't really hurt you, did he? So what's to forgive? That's for the council to do, and it looks like they've already moved on.
It's harder letting go when there's someone who's always drilled into the importance of being a moral pinnacle. And
everybody has fallings.
Yeah, and now he's just proved he's just as bad as the rest of us.
I don't think so. When people are desperate, they'll do anything. I think that just makes them human. I mean, look at you.
I mean, I'm not above realizing that I could have done this. I could have been in the exact same boat.
You kind of almost did. You were at that same party trying to figure out stuff for your dad, but I digress. That's just me.
Yeah. All right. I need to get.
I need to help us maybe with this whole thing. He probably wants to atone. I would if I fucked up that bad, respectfully.
He probably does. I'll see what I can do with him after the whole Fitzgerald dinner. But right now, I need pants.
Yep. And he points you towards his closet, which is plentiful with pants and smart jackets and nice collars and all the colors of the rainbow. And you guys decide unanimously that you are a winter, not an autumn.
I trust Hai Sung's whole opinion on it because I just go by pretty colors.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You can probably just stuff that in your pack until it's time to head out to the Fitzgeralds. And that's where we're gonna leave that. Who's left? I feel like I have like 5 children and I'm missing one.
I believe Guy said something about the docks before meeting us at the academy.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. It's around 4 o'clock when you head out. And it's about a half-hour ride down there. If you wanted to take a carriage.
Yeah, I think he's gonna take a carriage.
All right, you stick your arm out in the street, and one of the carriages pulls up. It says, "Hello, my name's Tronald. Where can I take you today?"
Tronald, to the docks.
Very good, sir. He goes, "Are you okay back there? Do you need any water?"
No, I'm good.
A little bag of almonds to keep your blood sugar up.
Oh, I'm good, thank you.
Okay. It's about a half-hour ride down there. What are you wanting to talk with your brother about? So I can pull my notes up.
He's going there mainly to catch up and to see if, like, he's heard anything. Now and then 64. Thank you for that raid. Just to see if, like, he's heard any passing of information through, like, the ranks or anything about the Partington murder or anything of that end. seeing if like any of like the people under him were talking. Just trying to see if he's gotten any information on it, and mainly just to catch up and bug him.
It's a half-hour ride through the city streets, and you watch as the town and the buildings kind of fade out, and it comes down to the countryside. There is just a small little, like, kind of meadows, more agriculture fields that lead into where the docks are located near the southern part of Sargenty. And this is the ocean. So it's very beautiful, cerulean blue with the sun reflecting off it. It's a beautiful day. And as you step out of the carriage, Tronald says, "Tell your friends," and rides off. And he goes, "Whoa, actually, do you need me to return at some point? Because the carriage system doesn't usually come out here."
If you would do me a favor and hold the carriage until I return.
Oh, okay. He goes, "I hate to be that person, but that might be a little extra."
Understandable.
Understandable as in I'm free to go, or you can cover that?
My family can cover that.
Okay, very good, sir. And he sits back and he pulls out a little notebook and he's writing in it. I'm waiting for you.
Okay.
Okay. You head down to the docks. It's so Sargenty has a navy, and your family is very much involved with that. And your brother, this is Gaspard.
Mm-hmm.
He is a captain in the navy, and he's been in command of his own ship since a little bit there. We're about in the summer, and that was back at the beginning of the year, if I recall correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And you know that he's made a real name for himself. He is a very responsible second oldest brother, but his crew would follow him anywhere, which is gratifying. And as you head down to the docks, you can look out, and around the port there are several ships, but you automatically know which one is your brother, so you head down there. And it's busy. People are putting stuff or moving supplies up onto the ship, and checking all of their everything. It looks like they're about ready to head out. And you don't know why, but you can ask anybody on the deck where your brother is if you like.
I think that's what he's going to do. He's just going to pull somebody aside. He's like, "Excuse me, can you tell me where I can find Captain Tybalt?"
Captain Tybalt, he's going to be in the captain's den. Can I tell him who's stopping by?
Tell him it's his little brother.
Oh, yes, of course. And he's like, "You can actually just follow me." He goes, "Watch your step there." A little bit of a rift's coming in. I think there's a storm of brewing out there. But he guides you up onto the ship. And you guys make it to the captain's quarters, and he knocks on the door. He goes, "Captain Tybalt, we got a visitor here for you. He says he's your little brother. I hope he's not lying." And you hear from inside, you go, "Oh yeah, let him on in. I figured." And he opens the door, and you see your brother standing there. What's your brother look like, out of curiosity?
He looks surprisingly like Gaius, though a lot taller and a lot more broad. He like almost just like the striking resemblance of like a fictional hero.
Mm-hmm.
But and Gaius looks like just a smaller version of him.
Before he closes the door, the crewmate says, "Anything I can get you, sir, or your brother?" And Gaspar goes like, No, very good. You can leave us. Thank you, Matthew." And he goes, "Very good, sir." And he shuts the door. And it's actually quite spacious, captain's quarters. You have a whole wall that is like windows, so you can see out onto the sea, which you do kind of see out in the distance there are some clouds brewing, but otherwise it's a very idyllic view. And your brother's office, or I guess captain's quarters, are maybe a little messy as paperwork, various trinkets from his trips are kind of scattered about. Kind of a chaos in the order. And he says, was not expecting to see you today because we were just about to head out, so you caught me in good time.
Yeah, I heard from Father that you had been in dock for a couple weeks. What? You too busy being a big naval hero to come say hi?
Goes, well, you caught me. Give me an insight check.
Insight is going to be dirty 20.
Dang. He's your brother. You can tell that he feels bad about not reaching out, but he's also sort of fielding the question a bit, very vaguely. And he goes, like, just been abnormally busy. It's our busy season, so a lot of ventures to take. I do apologize, little brother. You know you're my favorite.
You don't need to make excuses for me. I'm just, giving you a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
So how have you been? I've heard about some of the exploits out at sea when the news reaches the shore. You most definitely have been busy. Trust me, it's made for quite a few good books, I should say.
Because yes, just been very, very exciting. I'm learning a lot.
Well, I can say that both mother and father beam with pride when they speak of you.
Have you been to see Lionel?
Yeah, I actually saw him today. Things are getting a little hectic in the city. Given your rank and position, you've probably heard of Lord Partington's murder.
How did he look?
Lionel or Lord Partington?
Lionel.
You know how he gets when he goes on his study binges? Completely run over, probably hasn't slept in a couple days.
Oh no! Where did Effie go?
I just
Hit
saw
the
an
button.
incoming call pop up. I think Effie hit the call button on the group chat.
Effie! Are you
I'm like,
okay?
wait, why are we being called by the call? What?
I was typing in the fucking DMs, and for some reason I got kicked out. I don't know what I hit.
He
Sorry. I hope I didn't
Okay.
fuck up.
Yeah.
I hope I didn't fuck
Nope,
up
nope,
the.
nope.
No, you're
Not at all,
fine. You're
not
fine.
at
You're
all.
fine.
Okay.
He looks like he normally does when he starts being swallowed up. I don't know how long it's been since he slept or he ate, but we were talking about the plague.
Was today the first time you saw him?
In a while, yes.
Since he was put in quarantine?
I saw him at the party. He was there with Father Valentine. The day Lord Partington was murdered. We unfortunately didn't get a chance to talk, him being such a high-ranking holy boy now and everybody wanting a piece of his time. But we did talk, and I can't say that I'm not worried about him. Like, he's so close to this plague.
Well, he's being very brave.
If there,
Everybody in there is being very brave. It's, from what I've heard from them, they are hiding how bad it is.
well, if the goddess that he worships so much is real, I hope that She does
Don't
watch
do
over
that.
him.
Don't do that. Like, come on. I'm not the most religious. I know you're not the most religious, but it gives him comfort.
I don't
It
say it
gives
to
him
him.
purpose.
I don't say it to him.
But, like, he's our brother.
He is, and I love
Listen,
him.
you're my favorite brother. I'll say it, but he's still my little brother. And if his goddess is giving him this zeal to help people, then that's a lot more real than some of the other stuff I've seen.
True.
Sorry, I don't mean to snap at you. It's just been
It's fine.
it's
It's fine.
No, it's not. And there's a lot going on that I don't think you're very aware of. And it's not your fault. It's because they're not telling anybody. But it's not just in the lower edge.
What do you mean? Where else is it?
Because whatever is said in my quarters here, it doesn't leave.
Hey, between brothers, we've shared secrets before.
He told you, right, that the plague victims, they go out into the sea.
Yeah, they do, like drop their clothing and they go out to the sea and they're never heard from again.
You know, drop their jewelry, drop any sort of like anything like that. That's almost like they go out there and they sort of disintegrate almost. The city, mainly spearheaded by Lord Partington, was wanting some of those in the Navy to go out and see what's going on out there. And it's unnerving.
I take it you found them.
No. But there's something out there. It's not anything I've ever seen before, and it's not some sort of sea creature. But we brought in someone to be able to, who's got more experience with like creatures, sort of. I don't know. You could almost call him like a monster hunter, but that's on land. I've never seen anything. It's not even like a creature. It's just a sense out there. And it's strange. But he should be arriving like within the hour, I think, and then we're gonna cast off and see if he can't take a crack at it. But yeah, that's why I haven't really been in touch, because this has been a lot that's been going on. It's been going on for several weeks now, which is why when I get here, it's just so much is going on. I just don't even really have time to even talk to anybody. It's just, so I miss you, and I'm sorry.
I totally get it. It seems that things are rougher than I initially knew.
It's not your fault. Like I said, they're not telling anybody.
Well, between brothers, all hell's broken out here. Lord Partington was murdered by somebody who was promised a miracle cure for a family.
For the plague?
For the plague.
Okay.
Is
that a thing?
It's not. It doesn't exist.
Oh.
Like, I can't. If it existed, even if it was the case that somebody had to do something that horrible, we would have seen something by now. I've talked to Dr. Gusford. I'm going to talk to Headmistress Holt. I've talked to Lionel. None of the two of them have never heard anything of such a cure being offered or created.
I got my hopes up for a second.
It got somebody's hopes up, that's for sure. But I'm not a member of the Wings. I'm not some grandiose detective or anything of that matter, but I'm doing my own bits of investigation.
Why?
Because I know I come off as this carefree individual who would rather just sleep his day away or whatever. But I love this city. I love its people. And I don't want...
Listen, little brother, I love you, but do you think you're cut out for that?
Look,
Sounds like who's ever behind or holding the reins on this thing is pretty nefarious, malignant, powerful, maybe.
I've got my ways. I might not be the military hero like you or the highest sort like Lionel, but I can set traps. I am a master liar, after all.
I worry about you.
I'm not going in this alone. I'm smart enough to at least have friends backing me up.
Well, the thing is that if I lose Lionel to this plague, and then I lose you to some crazy person who's running behind the scenes and all this, I'm just going to be left with Richter, and that sounds terrible.
That does sound horrible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I promise that I'm not going to leave you alone with Richter.
Good.
Oh,
Just please be careful.
on the plus side, your brother now owns a publishing company.
Really?
I talked to Father today, and his whole idea of bringing me in line and, I don't know, making me a more respectable member of the family was to offer me a publishing firm that they just acquired. Of course, I can't write the smut anymore, according to him, but...
No. Why even bother? What's the point of it all?
That just means more high sea adventure books that I can write.
Yes, I noticed that one of your heroes in the High Sea Adventures sounds very familiar.
Oh, of course. Like,
I'm flattered.
I must say, though, that book, the ladies love
Your
it.
worst seller?
What are you talking about? The ladies love it.
I'm just joking. He goes, well, that is very gratifying. If it can get me a date, even better. Just find someone who doesn't mind me being gone for weeks at a time.
I might know a few people.
And he goes and he says, well, that's impressive. Look at you. You're gonna be richer than all of us.
You know I don't care about money.
Yeah, well, it's nice to have.
I'd give it away if it would get
If you
rid of
had
this
enough of
plague.
it?
No, I'd give it away if it could get rid of this plague. If it can bring peace to everybody here.
Yes, me too, of course. And he opens his mouth to say something else when you hear a knock at the door. And he goes, come on in. And the door opens, and in walks a very tall man. Square jaw, very tan skin. You can see he's got kind of reddish brown hair, almost like coppery, underneath his hat there. He's dressed very smartly in a suit, but it looks almost like traveling clothes almost. And he's got a very kind look in his face. And he goes when he talks, he goes, oh, I apologize. I didn't know that you were with someone, Captain Tybalt. And he goes no, it's all good. It's all good. And he goes, this is my little brother, Gaius. Gaius, this is, I gotta get my notes, y'all. It's important.
No dice, no notes.
Why don't Cargon, you could have died. You could have been seen. He goes, this is Captain Heath Fitz. He is the gentleman that I told you about was going to be assisting us on this venture today. He goes, Captain Fitz, this is my brother Gaius Tybalt, the famous author. And the captain takes his hat off and he holds off his hand and goes, "It is a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Tybalt."
As it is you, Captain. I hear
Thank
you're
you.
some sort of a renowned monster hunter.
That's just the... He almost practically blushes and he goes like, "No, that's just like the kind of ridiculous title that the people like to give me. I know my creatures. I'm very avid, almost like biologist, but I just want to help out any way I can. I hear there's some strange stuff going on out there, but I'll do my best. And also, who can say no to your brother?"
Right? I mean, look at that face.
I know. And Gaius goes like, Gaspar goes like, "Can you not?
Can I
In
not
front
what?
of my coworker?"
It's fine. Anyway, like I'll leave you to do whatever you captains talk about when you're alone.
Gaspar goes, "Ooh, if you write another book, you should write about Captain Fitz. He actually hunted down a giant squid about 5 years ago, and it was harassing ships as they crossed the sea."
I was just thinking about that. Captain, when you have a free moment in your busy schedule, if you wouldn't mind stopping
Immediately
by.
shaking his head. He goes, "Oh no, I really don't. I don't do anything like that. I don't like. You don't have to do that. I'm sure you can come up with something on your own."
Oh, no, I mean, your look alone screams heroic hero.
He goes, "Lady, help me. I really don't know how else to do this. I'm just not. I don't need that kind of attention."
Oh, no. I wouldn't, put your actual name in the book. It'd just be a character based on it.
I know, but like, red-haired, monster hunter, pretty hard to narrow down. Trust me, I'm not all that exciting.
I don't know. You look pretty exciting to me.
Give me a persuasion check.
Days.
25.
He goes, "He wrote about you," and he asks Gaspard, and Gaspard goes, "Yeah, apparently all the ladies love me."
4 books.
4 books.
Working on a 5th.
It's nothing like bawdry, right? Like inappropriate or...
Only if you wanted it to be. If not, no. It would just be a grand heroic tale of adventure and battling giant monsters.
No, sir, nothing inappropriate for me, if
Oh,
you
no.
don't mind.
Of course.
He goes, "Can I make a request? Then, if I agree to this, can I make a request?"
Of course.
"So I have a pet pig. His name is Francis. Can you maybe slip him in there as like my sidekick?"
I can do that.
And he holds his hand out. He goes like, "Then when we come back, I guess I can make myself available to you."
And Gaius reaches out and he takes his hand, and as he does, he palms his business card into the captain's hand. "Just look me up when you come back."
"Absolutely, Mr. Tybalt. I will do so." And Gaspard goes like, "All right, enough of your little flirting thing." He's like, "I actually have to talk business."
Fine. It's nice seeing you again, brother.
Yes, I promise I will be better about reaching out when I'm in port.
He looks over to the other captain. He's like, "You keep him safe now, okay?"
"Everything I got, sir."
And he's gonna nod. And he's gonna just head on out.
Excellent. You walk out onto the ship, and they're like, "All right, sir, we gotta go." So they kind of hustle you off, and it's, you actually could stay if you wanted and watch the ship head out to sea, but until it becomes like a speck. And then, as you head back, you see that Tronald is there waiting for you, and he goes like, "Are you ready to go, sir?"
Yes. Around what time? Well, around what time is it?
About probably about like 5 right now.
And what time is dinner at
7.
7?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it takes about a half hour to get back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's got time. So he's gonna jump into the McDonald's carriage, and make his way to the academy.
Excellent. And as you do that, we are going to take a break because I got to pee, and also it's around that time. So finally are all converging, and we'll pick back up at Our Lady of Life Academy then. Woo!
Okay. We'll be right back.
All right. See you right back. What's the
The-
second
and
piece?
we're
The
back.
treasury part is like, hello.
You're
is
not
very
back. You have no
tempting.
camera.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Hey, you're a liar! You're a liar!
Bazinga.
Alright, welcome back, everybody. I was like, where the fuck are Rojan and Cass? We have so much shit to do.
Which actually makes me wonder how long Rojan has actually been sitting there. But like,
You can't hear us though, right?
No,
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay.
But the thing is I wasn't sitting there. I was actually doing stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Alright.
I had to make lunch, so
So, Effie, you're not going to the academy, right?
no, I'm waiting for it to be dinner time.
Okay. So everybody except Sonari is going to meet at the academy. I'm not gonna go into like how your trip went because respectfully, who cares? So you finally get there. You see a high elf looking very annoyed that you took so long, and you're like, "Oh, it's our Belriel." And you also could probably see that Reggie's coming out of registration, and probably by this time, Cass, you've already read enough at the library. You're also coming out of library, so you guys all converge. And now I can rest my voice.
Finally. Good to see everybody here again.
Sorry about that.
Took your sweet time, didn't you?
I was doing important investigative work thing.
And what did
Oh.
you find?
And by the way, I now own a publishing company. Thank you.
Really? That is good news. So we can actually see more of your books showing up now.
Yes, it's my father's way of thinking he can bring me in line and make me more respectable.
Gonna
Clearly, it sounds like it's worked.
Well, he thinks.
Well, I look forward to your success in the future. All right, so not much time left before you, Madeline, and Sonari are gonna go on your dinner date with her parents.
I have one more person I need to speak to.
Oh, and who would that be?
As he smiles, he's like, well, I'm going to go talk to her now.
Ah, of course.
Is it the headmistress?
Yes.
I spoke with her earlier and told her to expect your arrival. Granted, that was several hours ago now, so...
What's 2 classes? What's 2 classes, honestly?
She teaches. I was waiting until the schedule was free.
Is her schedule free now?
I don't know.
I doubt her schedule is ever free.
I just
Yeah.
assumed that, most of her classes were during the day, so I wasn't going to try to interrupt that with questions that children should not hear.
Are you planning to go alone, or would you like us to accompany you?
I'm a big boy. I can hold my own conversation. You good, Malls?
Right when we all get together, and then now we're separated again.
You could come with me if you'd like. I'm just going to ask a couple questions.
Of course. Well, I'm not entirely sure what I should be doing next.
We could walk with and wait till he's finished. Continue our card game.
Actually, I might go peruse some of those trinkets this school has. They said they had something like akin to a treasury. So, maybe I'll see something flashy out there. Something that'll give me inspiration for another craft, perhaps.
Fair enough.
Okay, so go ahead, Arbelriel.
Perhaps I'll go with you, Reggie. If you're going to peruse magical trinkets, I feel like somebody should be keeping an eye on you.
He's part of the
Actually-
wings.
Well, the other thing is, I would actually like his company because he would happen to know a little bit of magic, after all, and would be able to tell me more about them. I am still a novice when it comes to this kind of thing.
Fair enough.
Sorry, are you guys splitting up again?
Partially.
We're
Okay.
all still on the grounds, but
I will
Going
be
in
going
separate
with Gaius,
directions.
and I will be waiting outside the door,
Welcome to
doing whatever, reading, writing,
Why don't you
whatever.
just
It's
go
fine.
in. You're allowed to go in. You're all on this together. Like, come on.
welcome to being a DM, Malls.
Talk to each other.
We just did!
5 heads are better than 1. Anyway, let's go.
I
Let's go.
suggested we all go together, and he's like,
You're
"No,
Let's,
fine.
You're gonna
See you
stand
on the show."
awkwardly outside.
Technically
Alright.
speaking, we're already separated from Effie's character, Sonari, because they're
Listen,
waiting
I
for
have
dinner.
no control over that. Let's do this, you guys. Let's go. All right. Give me
Fine.
one second.
I will go in. But I just don't know what I could say about this situation. That's the thing. It's like I don't really. I have
Let's
a feeling
go
like I know what guys.
follow our Belriel and Reggie first. You guys are going to the. It's called a treasury, but really it's like a museum of items. Effie's character Scenario has already kind of seen this, but one second. As you walk in, marble floors, very classy looking museum, and all of these items are on like mini pedestals, like with glass over them. Kind of just showcasing like different ancient items, powerful items that have come into the care of the school, which also serves as like not really like a directory, but like kind of like a care of important relics, as well as a school. And as you look around, you see on one pedestal there is this thick book lying there, almost like suspended within the glass, and it's crisscrossed with like inlaid silver lines, kind of suggesting like a map or a chart. You see that the thing underneath it is calling it an atlas of endless horizons. Underneath that, there on a different pedestal, there's like a belt. There's like one that's kind of got a whole display for certain like potions. One of them like of all different colors. And a couple that are sort of dedicated to certain, I guess, shards as well. And there's one with like a kind of an amulet with a single shard of resilient extraplanar material in it, and it's called a dark shard amulet. And then there's one with a sword, a rapier on display as well. It's very almost like glorious looking. It's very magical. It already kind of gleams sort of, and yeah, I think. And there's one, oh yeah, there's one with like a ring on it with like a smiling mouth. It's very simple, kind of pales in comparison to the brilliance of the other ones, but it's got a bit of a smaller pedestal, and there's notes on it, but it's called a Gift of Gab ring. And for anybody who knows what Gift of Gab is, it's kind of like one second.
Isn't that like the rewind button?
Kind of.
Hmm.
Yeah, Gift of Gab. It's like a reaction where you kind of reshape the memories of listeners in your immediate area. So if you said something stupid, you can kind of rewind and make it so like they heard something else. They remember what you said as you speak the verbal component. Like they remember the things that you're saying. You're shaping their memories, sort of. Oh, there's a lot of different things in here. I'm just pointing out big things.
I think the first thing that would catch his attention, other than the sword, would be that belt.
Okay.
He's gonna take a closer look at that.
And as you go up to that, it says it's a belt of hill giant strength. Your strength changes to 21 when you wear it. Also, it just looks good.
Yeah.
It's very slimming.
Kind of looks at his own belt, looks back up at it. Maybe I could make some use out of that. Because he's kind of a mixed bag of tricks when it comes to his stat line. So seeing something that could boost him above his normal means would put him pretty high up there in skill. It would definitely help out with his crafting.
And underneath it, under the card, it says, for further inquiries, see Mistress Holt.
Interesting.
And that's on all of them.
Arberio, do you think
Yes.
some of these items were some things that Madame Holt or Mistress Holt found on her journeys before becoming a headmistress?
It's quite possible. They're all artifacts of some kind.
It's odd that we live in a society where magic is, so well received. Not everybody wants to endeavor in it.
A lot of people see magic as dangerous, and unstable. You can do a lot of evil with magic.
Well, a good deed goes unpunished, I suppose.
Then there is also the temptation of such a power.
Temptation? What, you mean like they would have a mind of their own?
Well, the temptation of power and then the corruption of said power.
That's what you meant. Far be it from me to dissuade anybody from choosing their own path, but what made you decide to endeavor into such things?
I didn't decide. It was decided for me.
What, like an arranged marriage kind of deal?
Not how I would put it, but similar concept, I suppose.
Similar. Fair enough. Is that how would you put it in your own words?
I'm in a position that I never intended to be. However, it was a position that needed to be filled, so I filled it.
Did this change your own personal ambitions beforehand?
This was never my ambition, but it is now.
won't press any further on it. Obviously, it's something that was forced on you, so...
Yes, I don't mean to be coy with my responses, but my family's history is a private one.
Understandable. It's so opposite of mine. Huh. And
Yes, you
everybody
are
knows-
rather an open book, aren't you, Reggie?
Probably too much so in some cases, but I've learned to not spin so many webs. I tried doing that before the wings, before I met the Kieran and his brother.
Yes,
So,
but if you don't spin a web, then you'll never catch your dinner.
there's more than one way to skin a tiger.
That is not a phrase I'm familiar with.
I don't like to use cat because we're always in the company of Gaius.
You know tigers are cats, right? They're just big
True.
cats.
True. But, all the same, there's more than one way to get a dinner.
I suppose so.
God damn it, Sugar Love. Sorry. Posted a picture of Drax saying metaphor. Yeah, I mean, not much can come from being peddler of cobbles and footwear.
Well, I
So,
disagree. I think it's a noble profession.
technically is.
It's also
If
quite a
only-
lucrative one. Everyone needs shoes. If you control that market, well then.
Every soldier needs a weapon and shield.
And if
Every-
you supply those soldiers with a weapon and a shield, then those soldiers are indebted to you.
Never thought I'd see it that way.
It's just business.
Yeah, but whenever I make something, I usually make it personal.
Well, that's clearly where you go wrong, then. There's nothing personal about business.
I guess one of the few things I have to learn is how to separate the two, then.
Indeed.
Speaking of business, the guy just walks over to the sword. You think you would be able to give an honest appraisal of something like that?
Depends on the type of appraisal you're looking for.
Well, we both know it's magical. That's a given. But the materials used, different design, because there are 3 different types of rapiers in the world. This looks more like a duelist's. I had to wager. All I would have to do is be able to sense just how strong the magic is.
Well, if it's here, then you know it's going to be quite strong.
I'd wager at least 4,000.
Well, the card says to inquire with the headmistress. We could always head over there. We know Gaius is currently occupying her time.
I mean, that's true, but it's not as fun when you just go straight for the answer.
But what is fun is barging in on somebody's private meeting.
Damn it, you're right. No. He'll walk back over to Arbella. He's like, shall we?
We shall.
I guess as you make your way towards Headmistress Holt's office, you see Madeline out in the hallway playing cards by herself.
Playing solitaire.
Oh, I thought it was Spider. My bad.
Yeah. The sun's starting to get a bit low, so classes are out, so there's no children in the halls. They've all gone back to either their dormitories or into the kind of middle courtyard to hang out. So it's quiet in the halls. Kind of peaceful, actually.
Madeline, how long have you been waiting?
Not too long. Look, it is getting dark. I mean, probably only about 30 minutes, or 20 minutes. But I should get back home soon.
Yeah, sounds like we should make an entry then.
And before you do that, we're gonna jump to Gaius and Headmistress Holt. I'm gonna assume as you knock,
Mm-hmm.
to say, enter.
He's gonna just slip on in.
She goes, oh, twice in 1 week. How lucky am I? Hello, Gaius.
Good mistress. I wish I was coming to you on more happier terms.
Please call me Esperanza. I'm not your teacher.
As you wish, Esperanza. I've heard from my brother Lionel that you and the good doctor have been keeping tabs and looking into the plague.
Right to business, I see. Yes.
I've asked the two of them this, and I ask you the same question. Have you heard of anybody mentioning that they have knowledge of a miracle cure to this plague?
That would be quite impossible. We have yet to even really start the depths of seeing just how this plague comes about. It's so varied.
I've caught wind that somebody has let slip that they have a miracle cure.
I sincerely doubt that, my young man.
I fear that they're going to use this to hold it over individuals who have family members on the other side. Play off their desperation, get what they
The
want.
quarantine zone is very, strictly guarded. It's no one's getting in unless they have a specific pass, like myself and the doctor.
I'm not saying that they're gonna talk to the people on that side. I'm talking about the people on our side. Family members of those who are suffering right now.
Understood.
Somebody can make a lot of money promising people a miracle cure for, I don't know, favors, money, assassinations.
She goes, well, I'm sure you know, Gaius, that a lot of the people who are being affected by the plague, it's mainly the edge. So if you mean the other side, that would be people in the other upper crust, and not many people are affected by the plague up here. In fact, I have yet to see anyone who's affected by the plague.
What I mean is anybody who isn't affected by the plague but has family on that side, or who is afraid of catching it themselves.
Understood. I would have to say no. I have not heard of anything like that.
Everything I've looked into has always led to the same outcome.
So then what does that tell you?
I'm not looking hard enough.
I think you're looking in the wrong direction. If you ask the same question and you get the same answer every time, maybe not that.
Who amongst the higher ranking families, aside from yourself, my brother, and Dr. Gusford, would have any sort of higher knowledge of the plague?
Prior knowledge of the plague?
Higher knowledge of the plague.
Would be myself and Dr. Gustford.
Nobody else.
No?
Has anybody other than myself stopped by to talk to you about this? About the effects of the plague?
I have spoken with your brother Gaspard, just in tandem. Otherwise, I've spoken at the quarantine wall with Father Valentine. He's overseeing the efforts in there. Otherwise, it's just unfortunate to say, Gaius, but a lot of the people who have the means to do something about this just don't seem to care very much because it's not very much affecting them. The entire lower edge is in quarantine. Almost. Except for, the rabbit's foot and whatnot. But a lot of those people, I guess, either they're not aware of how much the plague is spreading, and to be fair, it's not their fault because they are keeping a lot of the information to keep from a panic, but, or they just don't care either. They have lives to live, they have jobs to work, etc. So
Gaius is going to take a breath for a moment. He's going to focus himself. I apologize for coming to you unannounced. I'm just at my wit's end. This plague has been running rampant throughout the city. Anybody who has had any sort of connection to the lower end has lost people to it. My brother is on the front line of this thing now, and I fear for the worst.
if there's someone going about offering something like that, but they're not saying who they are, it's very well that they want to keep their identity hidden. This is not Spy Master 101, I'm sorry. I mean, I wish I could help more. I really do. It's just, all I have is, I'm just trying to find out how to reverse the effects of this. And I've also been helping with Lord Partington murder on top of that. Just,
What if I were to tell you the two of them are connected?
I already figured something like that. A huge murder, and then someone is going about asking for people to assist them in exchange for a cure, which doesn't exist. It's not surprising. I'm glad you found it out, but
I'm going to do more than find it out. I'm going to find this individual.
by yourself?
If need be.
No one achieves anything alone, Gaius, that's all I'll say.
If the people in the lower end are at such risk, we need to convince them to leave. Get them to better housing, get them to better location in the city.
Where's that?
From my recollection, there is plenty of land in the upper crust, as it's called, that isn't being used for anything at the moment. The families can allow some to stay on their land.
The wealthy families allowing refugees, so to speak, staying on their land.
It's all of our land. These
Gaius.
are pointless.
Gaius, I understand you're upset. I do.
Do you?
I do.
The one person in this city, in any place of power, was trying to champion change, was trying to champion everyone being taken care of, finds himself on the end of an assassin's blade. While all of this is going on, and the rest of the families sit back and do nothing. Part of me wonders if anything would change if the plague somehow made it to one of those houses.
Of course it would. Immediately, things would be put in line for better care, more research on this, other than myself and Dr. Gusford. That's how it works, Gaius. Listen, I know your heart is with the lower edge, 100%, but I think it makes you blind to the going-ons of the people where your standing is.
Where my standing is.
Your family is very privileged, and so are many of the other families up here.
Maybe that needs to change.
Maybe. I hope you'll forgive me if I'm not going into full rebellion mode. I do have people that I'm trying to help right now.
I don't expect you to go into a rebellion mode. You are doing everything that you can to help.
This is accurate.
I just need to do more.
Have you spoken with the doctor yet?
I have. She said very much the same thing. She's heard of no miracle cure. She's heard of none of her patients mentioning somebody that may have stopped them along the road or anything.
I have seen many instances of deceit, blackmail, bargaining, bribery through my many years in the city. It all comes down to, what do these both parties want? It could be anybody, even your most trusted friend. There's something they want badly enough. The plague is terrible, and my heart breaks hearing what's going on the other side of that wall. But this is strangely bigger than the plague. This is almost ingrained societally in this city for a long time. And Lord Partington, rest his soul, was wanting to do exactly what you feel in your heart you wish to do. He was trying to make change, but it's hard to go about it all by yourself, as you can see from him.
I won't take up too much of your time.
Think on what I said.
I have much to think of.
And I think at that moment, maybe you hear a knock at the door, and it's Reggie in our bell reel. And she nods her head at Reggie, and she gives a very friendly wave to our bell reel. She goes, twice in one day. Hello.
Indeed.
This guy is
Yes.
Guys is gonna like nod in respect, and he's gonna turn and walk away.
Okay.
And like
sh-
both Arby and Reggie are gonna just see a very like seriously pissed look on his.
feel I may have upset your friend a bit.
Well, he has a dinner to go to. I'm sure it has nothing to do with that.
Just how can I help you, gentlemen?
Oh, just wanted to, one, remind Gaius of prior engagements and to ask you about a couple of the items downstairs.
Of course. Which one's caught your eye?
I'm sure you know about the rapier on the wall, but
I do.
also the belt for the giant strength.
Mhm.
In your journeys, who did you travel with and find these with if you were not alone?
Not find these. These were all very generously donated by families of upper standing, people who have gone out on expeditions themselves and brought them here because this is a place of learning. I am not an adventurer.
Ah, never have been.
Farthest I've ever gone is the forest, and I have too much keeping me here.
If one wanted to travel into the forests, would you happen to have any advice for that?
Go in without greed in your heart, essentially. Do you know, essentially, you're supposed to go in without the intent to take anything.
Right. Okay. And no malicious intents as well? Or is it just the greed?
Well, I think everybody's got at least a semblance of malicious intent in their heart, no matter how good they claim to be. But essentially, just don't seek to take anything from the forest that isn't theirs. And in
Fair.
return, the forest gives back in its way.
Fair enough. Do you happen to know who donated those two items?
I would have to look into my records. Are you wanting to loan them out?
No, I was just curious about the origins, and if I find it interesting enough, I can visit them myself if they're nearby. Might be a
Well,
good thing to
this
cover.
is very ancient and very old. If you wish to study it, you can definitely do so under my eye. Is that what you're wanting?
Yes, actually.
Sorry, I don't have much more information about the people, but I think it's more the item you're interested in. It's like as I said, some of this is very old. The amulet, for one, which she gestures to Arbariel, honestly might be more up your alley than maybe Sir Reggie here, but the belt is quite good for those who are more on the physical side of things, more martial. But yes.
All right. Well, sorry to take up your time this late in the hour.
It's quite alright. Please, if you happen to catch Lord Tybalt, tell him that I am sorry I could not be of more help.
We'll be sure to pass along the word. Have a good evening, man.
You as well. Anything you are needing, Lord Salveris?
No, I'm just here to accompany this one.
Keep an eye on him then.
I try.
Right.
You can continue trying.
Alright, and you guys are leaving?
Yep.
Okay. Where are you guys going?
I'm not about to crash the dinner party.
As we exit, is Gaius still around? Like, is he hanging out with Maddie, or did he just leave entirely?
Considering on how late it was getting. I think Maddie was like worried about being late and making a bad impression with her.
I think it's
with her
only like
father.
5:45.
Oh, okay. Okay,
too
well then
late.
it's fine. We could wait and just be talking about just general stuff by the time they come out.
I think, I don't think Gaius stopped. I think he like walked out and continued on out into the courtyard.
Maddie goes after him then. If, he was going to speak to Headmistress Holt and then he walks out all angrily, Maddie would follow.
Reggie just collects her cards for you, so
Yeah, it's fine. And she's calling after him. I'm like, Gaius, what happened?
We're in a losing battle.
What do you mean? We have so many things that we could be doing for the investigation. It hasn't gone cold.
The investigation into what? No justice is going to be done no matter what. We're fighting something other than just the assassination of somebody who wanted to. The plague.
Sorry, I missed that last sentence.
The assassination that somebody wanted to do right. The plague. The sorrows, the pain that the people feel on the lower end. Everybody in our seat of power does nothing. And is going to continue to do nothing unless it's brought to them. Yeah, we may find the person who promised that miracle cure to prey on somebody. But what I've learned today, it just points to somebody in a position of power. So nothing's going to happen to them if we catch them. The wings are powerless to stop people in our position. Money protects them.
You say that nothing's going to be done until it's brought to them, but Lord Partington was murdered. It was brought to them.
In front of everybody. It was a message.
Exactly. So it was brought to them.
And yet, who is doing anything about it? Us.
Well, we are. Yes.
Nobody of power. What are our families doing?
You're saying
Nothing.
that we don't have power?
We are not in control of our families. We have our families' names. We have money, but we don't have their influence.
Did you forget what the plan was for tonight?
Oh no, I know that.
Did you forget who else we are working with? And she doesn't, even though there's probably no one around, she rubs her eye. Did you forget who else we're working with?
Of course I haven't forgotten. My mind is elsewhere.
Yes, the plague. Which, I'm not saying that it's not important. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be spreading. But I think that you're chasing something else entirely. I think that the reason why you feel so powerless is because this plague, there is no cure. And you are so focused on the cure and not the fact that people have been saying to you that someone is essentially granting wishes, or at least making people believe that they could. We need to figure out. Sure, of course, there's a lot of people with influence and power and money We need to figure out who is kind of connecting everyone. Or at least who has connections.
Tell me, how quickly do you think this... excuse me. How quickly do you think this plague would be resolved if one of, or multiple, of the higher ranking houses caught it? Do you know how many resources would be pooled? Do you know how many people would be jumping to find a cure? Right now, nothing is being done because nobody of importance is being affected.
Okay, so donate money to the cause, donate supplies to the cause. You have money.
As he just gets like a very like ungaious look on his face. Maybe we need to donate a body to the cause.
I don't know what it means, but I don't like it. We don't know how it spreads.
I have 2 brothers right now risking their lives to find answers to put a stop to this. I'm on the other side of a gate that I cannot cross. I am forced to be a spectator as I watch people that I adore slowly but surely die. I come from a society that is supposed to control and empower this city, and they do nothing. And now we have some sick individual who is playing on people's hopes and dreams that there is some sort of cure they can. Part of me hopes and wishes this plague makes it to our side of the gate. Then maybe something will get done. Maybe I've gotten too far into my own ploy. But this skulking around, this playing at desperation has awoken something in me. Things need to change.
Is that not what we're working on doing? Is that not what I agreed upon at the meeting with the committee?
I don't know what you fully agreed on. That's between you and them. And I'm not saying you're not doing anything. I'm just saying we are extremely outmatched at the moment. We need more resources. We need more bodies. Maybe Sonari's heard something from her friends. But we can't count on the wings. And we can't count on anybody who is in an official, as in any sort of official stance. Because all that money that they gain comes from one place. Anybody connected to the higher end cannot be trusted.
And like Maddie looks a bit heartbroken at that. Because all she's known is the higher end, and she is higher end, so is he. So is like that's at least how she sees it. I don't want any more people to die, plague or murder or however else. feel like you are getting lost in your own investigation. And you are getting angry. And you are threatening that we need more bodies. I don't know what you're planning. Do you plan on dropping a sick, a person who died from the plague in the in town square, and hope that that somehow
No,
it spreads?
I would never disgrace a person and use them as a weapon.
Are you hoping that more people on the higher end get murdered?
That's what money does. I don't use people. I'm just saying sooner or later, that sickness is going to cross that line.
Yes.
And by that time, it's going to be too late. The only thing that can help this is by some open chance is that somebody from a higher standing family becomes infected. I know it's sickening to say, and it brings up bile in the back of my throat to say it, but...
So that is what you were planning. You were planning on spreading it, which you just stated
No.
it would be the worst case scenario of it spreading further.
No, I'm saying that somebody needs to catch it now. Somebody higher seat, not their children, not some third, fourth, second born, or anything of that matter. A house leader. The moment they got it, everything would be donated to seeing the plague fixed. And I can guarantee you that thing would be cured in a week.
Not before infecting many others.
Look how many have been
the family.
infected
Think
already.
about the servants as well, of how many people work for us at the higher edge. They would get sick as well, because they would be the ones taking care of them. If you don't care about people on the higher edge, at least care about those that help us here at the higher edge.
Maddie, that's all I care about.
Then why do you want to spread the infection?
I don't
Just
want
so
to.
that way people would care?
I don't want to spread it. I'm just saying that the only way this is going to get any sort of attention is if somebody on the higher end catches it.
What if someone on the higher end and talks to other people on the higher end, and there's other ways?
One person did, and they're dead. The higher families don't care. Once that plague begins to take over the rest of the city, first thing they're going to do, they're going to pack up their bags and they are going to settle for greener pastures. Your family, my family, every family is going to go.
If they're just going to leave, then what's the point of bringing it up to them? What's the point on trying to make them care if, according to you, they don't? It's just, that seems like a waste of energy when your energy could be better spent elsewhere. Such as helping them yourself.
And what am I supposed to do?
You own a publishing company now. Donate proceeds of your book.
It's not.
Donate some of your family's money.
It's not the money. It's
Everything's
the
about money.
prestige of the name. It's the means to save the family. Money means nothing. Money isn't going to get this cured.
Money fund cure. Money will fund resources. Money will fund for more staff so your brother could have some rest.
My brother won't
Money-
rest until it is cured. Money is not going to do anything. I can donate as much money as I want, and as it trickles down into the people who it's supposed to go to, it gets cut off the top. Every way down, somebody takes a little chunk for themselves. And by the time it gets to the people that it needs to, it is a pittance of what it originally was.
And give it to the people who need it at the bottom that it trickles down to.
I think as you guys are in the hallway arguing, you hear the tap, 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 tap of feet running down the stone hallway. And you both turn and you look to your right, and turning the corner is a young courier, very out of breath and sweaty. He goes like, oh, excuse me, Lord, lady, excuse me. He kind of squeezes past you guys and makes his way into Headmistress Holt's office, and he kind of brushes past you, Arbelriel. He goes, oh, I'm so sorry, my lord. Okay. He goes, Headmistress Holt. And she goes, oh, hi, news. And he goes, yeah, the doctor, here you go. And she goes, thank you. And she takes it and she looks at it. Are you already on your way out, Arbelriel?
I was probably on my way out when the courier came in, and that caused me to stop and just observe.
Okay. She is reading the note, and her eyes, you can see, kind of widen. And she... Give me an insight check, Arbelriel.
17?
You can see that her hands, normally so steady, start to tremble a little bit. And she kind of folds the notes up to small pieces. And she goes to a small little fireplace by her desk and tosses it in there, and it, with like a green ghastly light that you've come to kind of associate with her magic. She goes,
Alarming news?
dangerous news. Concerning news. Very much so. She goes, I know the others have gone for a dinner. She goes, and the courier kind of bows and heads out, closing the door behind him. She goes, Arbelriel.
Yes.
In regards to this murder and this plague, how much do you actually care?
The plague is not good for anyone.
Not good for business?
I don't want to sound callous, but yes, it's very much not good for business. So regardless of the standing of the population that is most affected, it is in the best interest of everyone for it to be cured.
And Lord Partington?
I never agreed with his politics, and I still don't, necessarily. However, his children are promising. I think they have a slightly different perspective than he did. And it will be beneficial for them to be given the space to explore that perspective.
Promising in what way? And you can see she's starting to kind of reach out towards bookshelves on the wall behind her, and pulling them out at random. But not so like taking them off the shelf, but just so they're out a bit.
Having experienced what they did at that dinner that night, I think it has given them a respect for the level of danger that often follows change on a citywide scale. Respect that I'm not so sure their father had.
There's been a partnership between myself and the doctor, and we've been working on this plague for a while now. As you know, the doctor, and she pulls out a final book, leaves it on the shelf so it's almost like tilted out, and you hear a click. And you see that the wall on the other side of her desk moves apart, and it's that hidden chamber that you had seen a glimpse of previously. And you still see those same feet on a table in there, but no more. And there's a small lantern with a green light. She goes, "You said if there was anything I needed, I could rely on you."
Of course.
She kind of gestures for you to follow her into the room.
And I do.
And as you step in, the stone wall behind you, and you see on the table there is a grown man, and he's dead. And he has a sort of cloth covering his waist for modesty. Other than the fact that he's dead, you can see that he is riddled with holes, very akin to a beehive. And she gives you a mask to put over your face, and she hands you some gloves. She goes, "Just to be safe."
Yeah, I think his first reaction to seeing that was like to bring his sleeve up and cover his face and recoil a little bit, but then he puts on the gloves and the mask that she gives him.
She goes, "We're past the expiration date enough that I don't think there's any risk of infection, but you can't be too careful." And she goes up and she kind of squeezes on that earring she had pointed out to you previously, and there's a silver flash, and you suddenly feel like there is almost like a warm trickle down from the top of your head, down your neck, down your back, down the back of your legs to your feet. And it's shaping itself to your body, so I feel like if you moved, it would move with you. And it's leaving your lamp out. She goes, "Dr. Gusford and I have been working very hard on this plague together, but as you know, she was also instructed to perform an autopsy on Lord Partington when he died. And he fell subject to the Nightwing poison. Myself, I've been into the forest, but never into the heart of it. There are rumors that some of the most beautiful and deadly things are at the very heart of the forest, which is almost like its own living organism. Are you still with me?"
I'm with you, yes.
Good. She goes, "We wanted to see on a molecular level what happened to people with the plague. And so we took samples of their skin, samples of these sort of hive-like, almost holes in them. It seems to be as if their bodies are becoming a refuge for something, but we don't know what. But this black Ica here," and she takes a small sort of like a scraper, which kind of scrapes the inside of one of the holes on this guy's arm. And it's not just a little one, it's like multiples, like traveling up across the breast, across to the other arm, down into the stomach. You can see into this man practically. She goes, I hope you're not squeamish. She goes, there's this black ichor here. And when I sent it over to Dr. Gusford for study, she mentioned that it looked very similar to something else she had seen. It was around this time that we realized that our phones of messages are being watched, but we don't know by who. So we've been speaking in a sort of careful language. But if my reading of that note that I just got from Homily is correct, at the basic molecular level, what is going on with Jeffrey here, not Fairchild, different Jeffrey, what's going on with Jeffrey here, and what happened to Lord Partington is very concerningly similar.
So are you insinuating that Lord Partington had this plague as well?
I think what happened is that the thing about the Nightwing, it's hard to guess exactly how it works because we have yet to reach the actual heart of the forest. I know that, respectfully, your company, the Fitzgeralds, Jacksons, and many other families have business in the forest, but they have yet to reach the heart. There's something blocking them. In that case, there have been many lives lost trying to reach it. But it's hard to say exactly how this plant works, as we have yet to really get a recent sample of it. But I believe that Lord Partington might have gotten such a high dose of it that it makes your body react almost instantaneously. However, if it's diluted and possibly mixed with other things, it could be changed into something that could cause long-term effects. But it's hard to say. It could have been magically changed, like chemically changed. I'm not sure. But this is not. If my assumptions are correct, this plague was made by someone.
Made by someone using this Nightwing as a base of some sort. As a foundation.
An alchemical base, I believe. Obviously, we need to do more samples. She was managed to get enough samples off of Lord Partington, rest his soul, before he was passed back to the family. But I do know that she had to sneak it out. So that is why I say we are talking, you and me now, just to each other. You cannot tell anybody about what Dr. Gusford did or about what we have found here.
Of course, of course. I figured Nightwing was involved in a more in-depth way than we had initially thought, but I had no idea that it was related to the plague. I didn't even have a suspicion.
We didn't either, and it wasn't until we saw these samples at the most cellular level that we saw similarities. It's not pretty. Obviously, the demise of those dealing with the plague and Lord Partington's demise were gruesome. But as you know, his insides, or I'm assuming you know, his insides essentially turned to black mush.
I had heard something of that sort, yes.
Jeffrey here, and she kind of scrapes up more of that black ichor. I believe there's something that is maybe controlling this black ichor that is going through them to make it into something at someone else's will, making them into a sort of vessel, but it's hard to say.
Do you have any speculation as to why this change is causing them to walk into the ocean?
That is hard to say. I want to say that if it's diluted, that's possibly what's causing the first stage. Perhaps they need more than one dose of it, and they're getting it somehow.
So if if somebody is using this Nightwing to create the plague, and if we're able to follow the path of this Nightwing when it's going from the forest to whoever's using it, then we'll likely discover who's behind the plague. I have a business meeting with the head of my family's businesses later today. I had her discreetly look into Nightwing and how it's being acquired, and if our businesses were involved. And it seems she found some alarming news that she wasn't willing to speak openly about. Hence our meeting later today. If she tells me anything that I deem relevant to this, I'll be happy to share it with you.
And then she reaches out, kind of takes you by surprise, and takes your right hand in her right hand. She goes, I hope you don't mind, but I am going to have to make sure that you keep your promise in a way. And as she says that, you feel kind of that chilling cold pass through your hand and go up your arm.
An understandable precaution.
She goes, while my specialty is the dead, I do have magic of my own. If you speak to anyone not deemed trustworthy in your eyes about this, in your heart of hearts, I hate to say it, you will be plagued by your worst fears within your own mind for the rest of your days.
Well, I can't say that doesn't make me at least a little bit nervous.
You're in this now,
But
Lord Sarvaris, it looks like.
whether I want to be or not.
You said you would help me if I needed it.
And I meant it. On the note of this plague, if we're still able to speak freely, I have yet to make any confirmations. This is merely speculation at best. But after learning about the symptoms of this plague and how it starts with fatigue and sweating, and I'm growing concerned about Lady Yadira's lady-in-waiting, Florence. I noticed her disposition was off when I last spoke to her, and it does align with the symptoms of this plague. Granted, the family is going through funeral preparation, so it could just be fatigue from that. But
Be that as it may, it might not be a terrible idea to have Dr. Gusford make a home visit and see if Florence can't be checked out.
yes, there's a chance at the very least, and if the plague is beginning to spread in their house, then something should be done about it sooner rather than later.
Understood. And she lets go of your hand, and you feel warmth spread through your arm again. She goes, I'm going to take the enchantment off, so we have to be careful how we speak.
Understood.
But let me know what your caretaker says.
Of course.
She presses on that earring again, and you feel that sort of warmth trickle back up the back of your legs, your back, your neck, your head, until it disappears.
Well, I thank you for filling me in on all that you have. And hopefully I can turn up something useful for you.
Because I expect to make good on your promise of helping me, otherwise I might need to let someone know about a certain earring.
Understood.
Thank you so much, Lord Arberial.
And thank you for all your assistance as well, even if it did come at a bit of a price.
It's only a price if you And she
Understood.
waves her hand in front of the wall, and the wall comes back in your back. You feel almost like a rush of heat from the actual classroom come in, because that secret room was actually kept quite cold. And she goes, I hope you'll see yourself out. I have many things to look into here, but I will be speaking with you soon.
Yes. Much to attend to myself. As he gives her a wave and begins to leave, he starts taking off the mask and the gloves, but he's doing it in a way where he's like trying not to touch the outside of the gloves with his bare hand, so it's very awkward looking, but does eventually get them off and drop them in a bin as he's leaving the room.
Okay. And you leave the room. Courier's gone, long gone. He's already run off. I don't know if Gaius and Maddie are still there, but or Reggie.
Reggie's still there, just kind of like looking down at Maddie's cards. Just kind of flipping them around.
You
He
still haven't
doesn't-
picked those up.
I was gonna say you're supposed to be cleaning it up.
No, he does a trick with them because he stacked them up and he's like playing with them himself, like card trick style.
He's still doing the fucking houses like he did the other night.
No. Like, you know how like somebody can flip a card out in the air and then it comes right back to them?
Yeah.
Tricks. Not building a house, no. But he kind of looks over, is like, oh, how about it? Kind of like pockets the cards. Like,
I don't know what your plans are for the rest of the evening, Reggie, but I have business I must attend to.
very well. Do you wish to have company along the way, or do you think you're good to go?
Private business.
Oh, I meant until you get there.
Yes, I mean the private business starts now. I'm being polite, Reggie. I must excuse myself.
I understand. All right. And with that, he'll just kind of wait a few minutes and then follow out after.
I think Gaius and Maddie are still kind of arguing a little bit. She's just extremely frustrating. I put this in the Discord thing, but it was just she's frustrated because when Guy said money is nothing to her, money is everything. It's like the best kind of resource to have because you can buy anything and anyone. And she just doesn't understand why he doesn't do it himself. And she says essentially that to him. I hope you don't let my father know that those are your ideals, because that is not a way to get on his good side.
Who's to say I'm aiming to get on his good side?
At least for a little while, aren't you?
I am but a distraction. I know my role, and I know it to a T.
Please don't give my father a heart attack.
I have no means to. Though, he probably already thinks low enough of.
Let him know about your publishing business.
No. I'm not trying to get on his good side. I want no business dealings. I let him know that I have a publishing business or a publishing company. He's gonna want it. He's gonna want to try to dictate. Going to want to try and make good and try to bring our family businesses together.
Didn't you say that you... But my father believes that you are interested in our family business. And you are interested in your own family business.
Well, in a truthful means, in a way, I am interested in your family business, but only in the case of them moving the herb that killed Lord Partington into the city. That's why we have Sonari. I'm not accusing your family. It's just your family is one of the people who have the ease of bringing something like that in. Even you had your suspicions.
Yes, but I don't like it when someone else states it.
One thing I've learned, every family who is anything has its dark secrets. Even mine. A lot of bodies in the ocean from that one.
Are they married bodies?
Could be. Let's just say that they found a means to make people sink very fast and vanish very quickly.
Oh, you were being serious. I thought that was a metaphor.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
If anybody
Oh, no.
knew the truth of how my grandfather built our family's fortune, let's just say there'd be a firestorm.
Around what time is it? It's around the time we should be.
It's probably about like 6.
I should be starting to head home. I would say I would meet up with Sonari, but I don't know exactly where she is, so.
Sonari's of the opinion that like she's gonna turn up at the Fitzgerald house when it's like at the time that she was given for by Maddie.
6:30. So
Yeah.
I should be heading home, freshen up for dinner and all of that.
Yes, and I should be arriving at your home in a presentable.
Okay.
Cool. Everybody except Rebelriel and Reggie are heading to the Fitzgerald house, and I think we're gonna head over there real quick before we have to end for the day. Maddie, you probably get there a bit sooner than everyone, so you can get ready. And your mother greets you at the door. She goes, "My dear, did you have a good time?"
Yes, it was great. And I'm actually going to. I did. You got my letter about that Sonari is joining for dinner?
Yes, you actually told me about it.
I thought that I sent a letter at the Partingtons.
Um,
I'm pretty sure you,
can't-
when you popped home as well, you
yeah.
told... Oh no, I think you did tell her in a letter, and Moles read it out in her voice.
It's hard to remember, but she knows. Yeah, she's like, "I got
Yeah.
it."
Okay.
And she goes, "Sorry, my dear, but are you all right? You look a little peaky."
I'm sorry, I don't know what peaky means.
Not so hot.
I'm all right. I've just been out and about all day. I'm a bit tired. I went to the college. I forget the name of it.
Our Lady of Life.
Our Lady of Life.
Mhm.
And I spoke with Headmistress Holtz. I am possibly going to be signing up for classes in a few months.
She goes, I think that is very surprising, but an excellent idea.
I'm not sure where it's going to go just as of yet, but I figured it is still a step forward in my education. And I mean, I know some spells. I just wanted to expand on it a bit.
She goes, well, I'm sure they would be lucky to have you. And I know I'm just your mother and I'm supposed to say things like that, but I truly mean it. I think they would be lucky to have you at that school.
Thank you.
Because I already laid out a very nice dress for you upstairs, but as your father pointed out to me, I do tend to be a little bit... So if you don't wish to wear that, you may choose anything you wish. But I really do think that would look best on you, and that's just my opinion. I know I'm just your mother, but do whatever you want.
I'm sure the dress you chose for me is lovely as your other choices.
She goes, well, I have to be going. Apparently I'm not allowed at this dinner, but I am going to be catching up with some old friends, the Tufts. She goes, oh, that reminds me. She goes to a side table where there's like a little pile of mail. She goes, you did get some mail, but you need to go get ready, but look at it later. But yes, I hope you have a good night. And please take it easy on your father. He's had a very trying day.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. I'm just going to go get ready and then I'll let the guests know as well to I mean, it is just going to be a nice evening dinner.
But remember, the first rule of being a good hostess is you just roll with whatever happens at you. Oh, and your surprise should be here quite soon. I'm very excited.
Do I get
I'm
a
not
hint?
saying anything. No, I'm not saying anything. She goes, okay, bye-bye. I love you so much. Have a good night. See you.
I forgot about the surprise. Okay, so Maddie takes the envelope, goes to her room, and immediately opens the letter.
Okay.
It's a letter. It's read
It's
it
not
later.
a letter.
Why?
It's an invitation, actually. And it's an invitation to the birthday and the coming out. It's a combination of the birthday and the societal coming out party for the daughter of the Tufts. And you already know who the daughter of the Tufts is. You don't even have to roll for this, because you saw her at the Rabbit's Foot. And she won Sargenty Idol.
The
Anharad.
Yeah, Anharad. I was gonna say I forgot her name, but she was the super cool one that had like a radio voice.
Mm-hmm. And it's set for about 3 days from now. So on the weekend, because tomorrow is Wednesday, I think, and that's when the funeral is, and then one day in between that, and then it'll be like Friday night when is her birthday party. And as you know, coming out into society, someone is actually kind of putting themselves out there to be invited to balls and whatnot, possibly for courting, etc. And it's always a big deal. And it's also, you don't even have to roll history for it. It's a big deal because not a lot of the people have ever met the daughter of the Tufts. There's been rumors, but nobody's ever really seen her. She kind of keeps to herself. So they sent you an invite for that. Yeah.
Yay, I'm excited. Okay. Is the dress my mother laid out for me actually a good dress, or is it like a...
It's very pretty.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I believe in her fashion sense, but there was that fear that it would be awful.
Yes. I think about around the time that you get ready and everything, it's getting close to 7. And probably Sonari, you can show up now if you like, or whenever, and Gaius as well.
Yeah, so I'll probably turn up at like just about 5 minutes past 6:30, just to be because like I did say I promised to try and be on time, but like I know Sonari knows what she's like. She's not gonna be exactly on time. I don't know if she'd meet Gaius at the gate or if he's already there or.
I think Gaius arrives promptly at 6:30.
Cool.
Would he wait? Would he wait hanging out the front the entire time, or?
He's waiting until somebody like answers the door. Like if nobody answers the door, yeah, he's out there for until whenever.
Well, dinner's at 7, so if you go up at 6:30, the doorman would enter and probably lead you to a sitting room where there would be like small refreshments, like a aperitif before the actual dinner, tea and whatnot. Because the Fitzgeralds are fancy. So do you guys go in together, arm in arm, best friends?
I mean, if they let us in like that.
Sure.
I'd walk up to guys and be like on the back of the shoulder, go, "How you going?" Oh wait, I'm supposed to be professional. I'm supposed to be a lady. Hold on a second, I gotta get into character. Greetings, Gaius.
Sonari.
Yeah.
Like we're sitting down in the room that leads us into. The love of the gods tell me you found something.
I've found a couple of things. I've also put some things into I've also put some things into motion to try and lure out the person that trapped Gabriel.
So have I.
But information-wise, not exactly a lot of people forthcoming. But I'm hoping to get more out of, our mutual friend.
Well, let's just say I caused a commotion in the middle of the academy today. That should have caught
You? A commotion? No.
Oh, very much so. I put on my best bleeding heart performance. Dug a little deep, actually got into some actual personal beliefs and love I have for my brothers, but I may have upset Matt.
Was Maddie aware that it was a bleeding heart performance?
No.
Or?
She was unfortunately an unwilling patsy to it. I needed it to come off as sincere as possible. I was going to let her know when she came down today. When she came down tonight.
And so we're planning for this to be an awkward dinner.
Oh, it's
great.
I plan on making this an extremely awkward dinner. I'm supposed to be the distraction to give you as much time as possible, so but
there's awkward, there's fun awkward, and then there's sad awkward.
No. I am going to the extreme. I'm going to play off every fear that he has of me. I don't know how you're going
to get all of them, but the mother's not here.
I'm going to live up to every rumor he has ever heard about. You are going to see me at what can only be described as my sluttiest.
Oh, fantastic. And I'm sure that Maddie's going to be absolutely fine with it, considering you pissed her off.
This is going
to be good.
When she comes down, I'm going to explain everything.
I hope that she takes it well, that she will.
I hope so too.
If not, well, awkward family dinner is. Actually, I've never been into too many awkward family dinners. Me and Papa have a very similar sense of humor.
Oh, I am
But
the
it'll be great to watch.
I am the king of awkward family.
And with
I think
that,
at this moment, yeah, Maddie.
yeah, when you said like I'm the king of awkward family dinners, Maddie walks in. I was told that you were here. Hey, Sonari.
Maddie, pleasure to see you. I'm like now full lady mode, and I'm just like, how are you? And like I do a fucking like curtsy thing, and it's like after you've seen like me at my worst, it's so awkward for you.
He just gives you like a look up and down. You're fine. You can relax.
Oh, your dad's not here yet?
He's in his study. Dinner doesn't begin for another 20 minutes, about.
Oh, okay. And then I just like immediately go.
Okay, that's
Being a lady is so hard.
right.
The corset just goes.
Truly is. And she like looks over to Gaius and just nods, and then sits next to Ari on the outside of the.
As Gaius takes a sigh, he's like, "Look, I have to apologize for today. I needed to come off as I was extremely heated and emotional. I needed to get as much attention on me as possible. And you and I seemingly work good together in regards to that."
The room we're in is empty, right? There's no like the door's shut. There's no servants around.
I think a servant would obviously show them to the room, but they would stand outside in case they needed anything. But you can shut the door.
Got it. Okay, just making sure. So, at the academy, that was
An act. I do care. I do want the plague gone. And some of the things I did say were truthful. But the means of, we have to infect somebody on the higher end. Somebody on the higher end needs to get sick. That was to get as much attention on me as possible. I needed to look desperate. I needed to look as if things were at their worst for me.
so. Maddie nods, and then stands up. She holds back, but she slaps you.
And like,
And she points to you, like her mother does to her when she. Don't you ever pull that shit again.
it's like,
Nari just like brings out like a wine and hands it to her, and she's like, "Good job."
he kind of smiles. You've got some good follow through.
I held back.
And
I'm gonna need this for dinner.
And cursing. Man, I must have really upset you.
You're not the reason for cursing.
Sorry,
Well, you're not the reason I curse.
in the short amount of time that I've known you, I don't think you've ever sworn at. But yes, my apologies.
You haven't needed it.
You just earned
Apologies.
it then. You earned a curse from Maddie, guys. Damn. And by the way, Sonari was like trying really hard. But the clapping was me, but she was trying really hard not to make a sound and not alert anyone. But she's like, "Oh, yes, get it, Maddie."
And I think at that moment, as you kind of into your chair with your wine, Gaius with a fresh handprint across his face.
No, I held back. There's not much of a mark.
Still a little bit of a.
Oh no!
pink little-
Leave a mark. Leave a mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's into it.
Yeah, he like
and-
leans into it.
And Sonari is kind of slumped in her chair. The door's open, and your father walks in. He goes, "Oh my God, you look." He holds his hands out to you. He goes, "Mwah." He's like, "You look beautiful as always." He goes, "And these must be your friends." He goes, "It's a pleasure to meet you. My name is, well, I already know who
Henry?
you are."
No, that's my brother.
God, who knows?
William Fitzgerald.
Yes. He goes, "My name is William Fitzgerald of the Fitzgerald family." He goes, My lady, you must be Sonari. Am I
Canary
correct?
never fell, correct? I'm a cousin on the Neverfell family. It's a
Oh,
pleasure to
very
make
good
your
family,
acquaintance.
very good family. He talks over you, like, very annoying as a man does. He goes, and I understand this is our guest of honor today, Mr. Gaius Tybalt. It is very long overdue to have you in our house, sir. And he holds his hand out for a handshake.
Gaius takes his hand in a handshake. He's like, "It is a pleasure to be here, sir."
Yes, of course, he goes. And he goes, my girl, I understand that your mother had a surprise for you.
Yes, and I do not have any idea what it could be.
Then she actually kept a secret for once, and it looks like it's actually just arrived. And he steps aside in the doorway. Can you describe what your best friend Priscilla Jackson looks like?
Sorry, I'm excited. I would. That's
Jackson.
okay. I didn't write down any description, so this
Make
is
it up.
it's fine. It's fine. So she is also a tiefling with like a pinkish skin tone. She has like little horns as opposed to like the like big horns of any like little horns. Her hair is black, and her eyes are yellow, kind of less like bright yellow, more like a gold color. She has freckles. She is a little bit taller than me. She's around my age. She is my age, the same around like 19 to and as of right now, she's supposed to be at home resting because she is a few months pregnant with a ring on her finger.
She's actually only 3 months pregnant, and back in the day, you
Yeah.
wouldn't start resting until like the last month.
I like to imagine her husband is like, you're supposed to be at home and not go out and do things, just stay home and rest, it's fine. But not in a
Well-
way of like,
Controlling.
yeah, not in a controlling way, but more of a like, oh yeah, you can go to your friend's house because that's close by, but don't like stay the night anywhere, or, like don't go out too much, don't go to the lower edge, obviously. Things
Doting
like that.
husband.
Yeah, doting husband, concerned husband, or like, you know, if she would have to go anywhere, someone would be with her usually.
Understood. And she, as your father steps aside and you see your best friend, what do you do?
Immediately she runs up and like gives her a hug, but it's kind of like that hug where you do this. 'Cause
She pulls you in
she's
closer. She's like, you don't need to treat me like I'm glass. She goes, I'm fine.
okay, I don't want to squish it.
She takes your hand and she places it on her belly. She goes, it's okay. Can't really feel anything quite yet, but I'm good.
Okay.
She goes, I missed you so much.
I missed you too. Oh my goodness. Priscilla, this is my friends,
Today,
Sonari
hello.
and Gaius.
Hello,
Pleasure to meet you.
I'm Priscilla Jackson. How is everybody?
Pleasure to meet you, Mrs. Jackson, and congratulations on your great news.
Thank you. I'm really, really excited. I know that my husband, what's her husband's name?
I didn't come up with it.
Girl, you gotta be ready.
Gerald. James.
Gerald.
Gerald.
I know that.
His name is Gerald because that was the first one.
Gerald.
She goes, I know that Gerald's really hoping for a girl, but I would be happy with either.
Rarely
Good.
you hear of a father wanting a girl. It's always nice when that happens.
Well, Gerald's definitely different than other men that I've encountered here, but more for me. And she goes, he did let me out of the house, under strict orders to be back by a decent time, but I said that I really missed you, and your mother actually and I have been talking for a little bit via letters, and she said that you were having a dinner tonight, so I hope it's okay that I crashed it almost.
You are always welcome at our home. I am, you know that, and I'm so excited that you're going to be joining us.
And then your father goes, Priscilla, you're looking wonderful as always, and I'm sure this will only be the first of many children we'll be seeing with the Jacksons. She goes like, oh yeah, Gerald wants at least 4. I don't know if I can deliver on that, but I've always
4.
wanted a big family. Well, I wanted a big family, yeah.
Gerald better be impressive. And I say this under my breath. I don't want her to hear it.
I think with that, guy is just like is trying to hold back a laugh.
And then she goes like, well, you're gonna need a lot of practice if you're gonna be their auntie. In name.
Yeah, I know.
Auntie Maddie.
Yeah, it's still. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. My mind is a bit in different places, and I was not nearly expecting this, so words are hard.
Well, I was so surprised. And she kind of cups your cheek. She goes, you look a little. Maybe you need some food in you.
Yes, I'm glad. Good news is that we're going to be having dinner very soon. So.
And at that moment, you have one of your footmen kind of enter the room and goes, everyone, dinner is served if you'll follow me. And you all get up if you want. Yep. And you can head into the banquet hall, which is laid out with an incredible spread of food, way more than 5 people, I think, for at one dinner. But there's various different cut meats, gravy, potatoes, rice, fish, fresh fruits and vegetables, steamed, broiled, etc., and just a whole spread. And that's where we gotta leave off today for the downfall of Propriety, but we'll come back in 2 weeks and see how this dinner gets fucked up, I guess.
I mean, it's Gaius, so we'll see.
Yes.
It's not gonna get fucked up. It's gonna be nothing but entertainment.
And if
I got the clown.
Okay. Do your spiel, dude.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning on in today. If this is your first time here, this is not the only show that we do. Coming up later on tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific time is going to be session 0 of our Daggerheart game, which is going to be taking place every Saturday after the downfall of Propriety here at 8 p.m. Tonight we're just going to be going through a step-by-step process of character creation, so everyone involved can learn the game, people in chat can learn the game, and we can just start building up everybody for when we start in 2 weeks. Coming up on Monday, we're going to have another episode of Destiny Forge, that's what it's called, which is our longest running show here on the channel. Every other Tuesday we have Star Wars the Downfall. Wow. Star Wars. Wow.
Tales of the Outer Rim.
Thank you. I was like, I kept on wanting calling it Star Wars the Downfall of Propriety. I'm like, no, that's not it. Star Wars Tales of
people's minds, y'all.
Star Wars Tales of the Outer Rim, which is a Star Wars game that is run by Tiltbot. On Thursday, we are going to be coming back with another episode of Mass Effect Horizons, which is a Mass Effect game run by Zorro. On alternating Thursdays, we have Tricorn Isles, which is another 5th edition game that I run. Coming up next week, we will have another episode of Withered Waste, which is the alternating Saturday game here, where it is just again.
I'm sad about it.
Yeah, I know you're like, though I told you that like the big reveal and stuff wouldn't be coming until you came back, so you could be involved.
Celebrate my stupid anniversary.
how dare you be in love?
Ew.
Ew, what a nerd.
Yeah.
And then later on in the evening, we will be coming back with Vigilant 6, which is a superhero style game that we run here 8 p.m. Pacific time. But yeah, that's going to be doing it us for now. Thank you everyone for tuning on in, and we will catch you in about 4 hours for session 0 of Daggerheart. Until then, have a good one.
Goodbye.